And give it to me, Jacob. Be the JPO tonight.
And we're live.
Hey, we're live here on the Lonely Marks, here on the Movie Hero Network. Thank you for joining us. If you join us, appreciate you being here. Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast tonight, July 27th. Got some fun stuff lined up for you guys, but I am not lonely as usual. I am here, Jacob Barber. What's up, my man? How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Yeah, excited to be here. Talk some current stuff, talk some retro stuff, and just hang out.
And maybe do trivia later. I've got
Maybe.
some ready. Oh, one-on-one match.
Uh-oh.
Jacob and Richie ready to throw down. I've got some questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we might actually.
I was
gonna say we might actually include it in the episode if we get through everything quickly. We can just do it at the end of the episode here. So stick around. There might be some trivia at the end of this episode. So yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I felt bad that Richie didn't get his CWT match with me, so I figured this is the next best thing.
Okay.
I mean, it might happen eventually. You never know.
It will, but it should have happened already.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, speaking of Richie's right next to me. What's up?
Hey, I'm here. No, yeah. So we could talk about some new stuff, some retro stuff. I as I explained to Austin just before you came on, Jacob, I have watched the show. I just have Elimination Chamber on as like sort of a sort of. Usually my background has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It's just like the Netflix menu or something.
Yeah. So it was like, I'll pause at a point in the Elimination Chamber. So it was like, okay.
Yeah.
no darts today.
No.
Huh?
No darts today.
No darts. No. Dart. Yeah, there's no darts matches on. So no. So they got that. But good. You could be here. So it should be fun. And trivia at the end. I'm all for trivia.
Yeah, I've got trivia ready to go. So yeah, we'll do that at the very end of the show here. We'll get to that Elimination Chamber match as part of SummerSlam 2003 here in just a little bit. But I just pulled up a couple of little sort of current event things we can talk about here. So we'll jump into a little bit of current news to start things off. So I'll start with this that I pulled up. We have a stipulation for Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso at SummerSlam. We found out it is going to be tribal warfare at SummerSlam. What does that mean? I don't know. It's like a street fight or something. It's anything goes. To be the head of the table or something, I don't know, but it's basically
just a way for Jey Uso to lose but still look strong because someone's going to get involved and
Solo can then get involved and maybe
Solo or maybe another member of the Anoa'i family will take.
Yeah, I'm anticipating another member of the family somewhere. Yeah, either a younger one or perhaps an older one. I don't know.
Maybe Rock's daughter gets involved somehow.
Yeah, maybe even Rikishi. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised. Let's just put it that way. Because we have seen heel Rikishi before. Will he return to that? I don't know. But yeah,
he's a bad man.
Yeah, he's a very, very bad man. Tribal warfare at SummerSlam. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. There's another match that is yet to have a stipulation, but Brock Lesnar is scheduled to be on Raw this Monday. So maybe we will find out what the stipulation will be for Cody and Brock 3.
It's got to be something. They can't just have a normal match.
Yeah, no, he's going to be on Raw. Apparently, I saw them tweet that out. So we will probably find out on Raw what that stipulation will be because, I'm sure we'll have some kind of stipulation attached to it. We just don't know yet. There's been rumors, but nothing official yet.
Well, there should have been a stipulation for the last match because there was also around like Brock going, "I want to fight," and then they had a normal match.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think they should have a first blood match and make the blood the gimmick, He always wants to bust him open or whatever, so why not make the part of it? Because then you could actually stop the match when somebody starts bleeding, and it would make sense, So that would work into the gimmick. So another quick thing that I saw that came out today, we have a release date for the Iron Claw, the Von Erich movie. Starring Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich. And so, we have a release date now, at least officially. I don't know if it's limited or why, whatever it is, but December, around Christmas time, December 22nd. I don't know if that'll be, again, that'll be the limited sort of rollout, and we'll get more in January. But The Iron Claw also co-starring MJF as Lance Von Erich.
As a fake Von Erich.
As the fake Von Erich, yes. So, well, and some other people will be playing, Ric Flair and a couple other legends throughout.
I know. I think Harris Dickinson, who's getting kind of a decent. He's been getting decent roles lately. He's one of the Von Erichs as well.
He's Jeremy Allen White, who's on The Bear, that Hulu show, is Kerry Von Erich. He's in there. Got an older guy named Holt McElhenney as Fritz Von Erich. I don't know who that is exactly, but
I'm looking forward to it. And for those, friend of the movie here, and like Wolf, he'll probably be happy because I don't know, we're in the middle of an actors and writer strike, but apparently A24 has agreed to the term, so we'll still see A24 movies.
A24 and some of these indie studios have like weird loopholes where they can keep going with certain things. So what my prediction will be is actually, I think you'll see a lot of these A-list and B-level actors jump over and do quick like A24 movies that will come out next year. I think you will see that because apparently they have some kind of loophole that doesn't involve the unions or something. If you're a smaller studio or something outside of that, you can still like produce stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some big A-list actors doing some smaller roles next year that come out. I really wouldn't be
How long until The Rock's in an A24 movie?
You never know. I'm just saying, but see a Joaquin Phoenix do an A24 movie, that's possible or something like that.
I think it's possible even without the strike, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Wasn't Bo Is Afraid A24?
What's that?
Wasn't Bo Is Afraid A24?
I think it got picked up by A24. Okay. I don't know who it actually had, but
it was picked up by A24.
But you might see more of that. You might see these big names doing some smaller movies like that would be interesting because the indie movies next year you're going to see a lot of maybe stuff that would have gone to streaming or VOD that actually get put out in the theater. I wouldn't be surprised with all the strike stuff, other distribution companies picking up some of these movies.
Because I know it was going to announce I know maybe a week or so announced an interesting project that and two people you wouldn't expect going to A24 because of their one getting a big name or one a decent name. It's like there's a movie coming out I think it's called something like Death of a Unicorn. It's got Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd. It's basically the father and daughter in a car and they accidentally run over a unicorn. So they got and so it's a weird premise, but just the fact that they're in A24, like Jenna Ortega is getting huge. That's and Paul Rudd. I mean, Paul Rudd doing anything, but he's still a big name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me with just how good A24 has been to see some of these big names. I'll hop on.
Yeah. No, I mean they're grabbing big names right now, and I mean given how much critical acclaim they're getting, especially when you had Everything Everywhere All at Once in A24 movie win Best Picture. I mean certainly that will make waves,
Yeah, back in 2016 with Moonlight.
We saw what Coda win, and that was an Apple movie, right? So I mean, you're seeing like these smaller things win.
I believe wasn't Menu. I think Menu was A24 as well. I think. Was it something?
I don't remember A24 being in front of the Menu, but I know the Menu was a smaller movie. For sure. So
I had it somewhere. I can't see it.
Okay. I have a Blu-ray over here,
but I have on my.
I can grab it. Here you go. Let's see the Menu. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't think it was 20th century. So, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, we're getting off on movie tangents.
We're talking about movies.
Yeah. No, we just talked about that one because that's a wrestling movie. And we haven't had a wrestling movie in a while. Probably since Fighting with My Family, maybe, or kind of.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon, kind of. Yeah, kind of. A little bit of a tie-in, but no, not really one
about wrestling.
About wrestling or a wrestling personality or something like that. Yeah. For sure. So a quick thing coming out of NXT this week. The in-ring debut of Gable Steveson, highly anticipated, will be facing Baron Corbin at the Great American Bash special. So, Gable Steveson, let's see what he's got. He's going to step in the ring, and we'll see if he has some potential. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yep. Yeah.
I was going to say what you want about Baron Corbin. This current NXT run that Baron Corbin's on is fantastic. So I think, he's kind of I built this, like this wouldn't be anything without me, sort of thing. And now, Gable Steveson, this up and comer, who's a legit wrestler. It'll be interesting to see how he does. Does he go the Kurt Angle route, or the Chad Gable route, where we know he's good, but he's just kind of stuck in that mid card,
or Taz, where it's like
gets,
a big hype over somebody, and then he gets dumped in the mid card, like
right.
eventually. Yeah.
Like I know there was like a lot of hype because he got drafted to Raw like a couple of years ago and never was used. But like and then there was like sort of mixed reports where that they weren't kind of happy with his progress or whatever. I thought there was a lot of like pressure put on him to be maybe a Kurt Angle. I think there's only Kurt Angle only comes like once in a blue moon. There's a reason why Kurt Angle's so special, but like I think they've been impressed lately with how he's picked it up. There was a thing, I don't watch NXT like every week to week or anything like that, but there was a thing where I think they did sort of a similar like a thing, like a kind of like a Raw Underground thing where he at the end of a match that he was watching, he suplexed a bunch of guys, and it looks pretty cool because his brother's in NXT as well, named Damon Kemp, and he's pretty good too. But yeah, so and after the match, it was weird that he was on the opposing side of his brother, and I don't even think they made any mention they're brothers. But if you look at Damon Kemp, look at him, they're brothers. So it was him and I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's pretty cool too. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see. I'm sure if he does well, they're not going and he catches on. He's not going to be in NXT for very long. I know he probably should be in NXT, to develop, but they're going to want to put him on the main roster quite soon.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
He can just bounce back and forth like Dominic is.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's the other news.
People are really into the Dominic NXT thing and Judgment Day stuff right now too. Him winning the North American title and kind of doing over there because he's going to be a bigger star on something like NXT. He can bounce back and forth as well. So
I guess it makes sense in the sense that they probably want to put to make Judgment Day like this force where having a lot of gold, and then you're not going to have Dominic Mysterio beat Gunther. You're not going to have him beat Austin Theory just because they're both heels. So it's like, well, you don't want have him go down NXT beat Wesley. It doesn't. Wesley is a baby face. Why not?
Yeah.
I think And also because I think there's some medical issue on SmackDown. So he was the first person. He main evented Raw, he main evented NXT, and he main evented SmackDown this week.
There you go. Well, hey, prestigious. So speaking of a guy who should be main eventing a lot of shows, but is not right now, and it's caused quite a stink this past week with a fatal 4-way match that he did not win. As of right now, LA Knight does not have a match at SummerSlam, and it's causing quite a stir about the guy who's probably the most over and has the most momentum right now. But fans are getting a little impatient because, he did not win the Money in the Bank match. Triple H famously said, good things come to those who wait, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and a lot of people were online going, so you tell me somebody LA Knight cannot at least win the U.S. championship, at least, and do something. He couldn't face Austin Theory for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. It's Rey Mysterio instead. So what are we doing? But your guys' thoughts on that whole situation? And I saw quite a bit of stir on the online there.
Look,
this, but
I have more faith that like maybe things will come together. I mean, I know Vince is involved, but like at least they have Triple H at some sort of a helm. Whereas like if someone's getting momentum and it's just solely Vince, I'm like, no, he will actively fight against the fans until he can't anymore. Like with the Daniel Bryan situation. And so I think that apparently he is still scheduled to be at SummerSlam, and he might do something. And also, like his merchandise sales is like apparently like some of the top in the company. So they do pay attention to that. If they can see that, they know they can make money off you.
Yeah,
they'll push you. So I think he'll still get a push. I don't know whether I don't see him getting like a like obviously the WWE title seems kind of wrapped up at the moment with the bloodline. That I don't see him getting that kind of thing at the moment. But yeah, he'd make a good US champion. So I see him probably.
Yeah.
I see Theory probably beating Rey Mysterio, and then probably LA Knight slotting in there, and then LA Knight beating Theory, and yeah. That's probably I think it should happen. But I mean I think it should have it at a bigger stage like SummerSlam, but more likely it'll probably happen at sort of a big pay-per-view.
Is it Rey Mysterio? Am I a week behind? Because I thought it was Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar to find out who faces.
Yeah, it is right. Yeah, it's Rey Mysterio.
It could be Escobar. Well, there were two.
I meant to say Mysterio won that 4-way match.
So does Santos in the other one. So they're facing. Yeah.
I mean, I just hope it's not Mysterio, because I don't want him to be like one of those, old guy, not old guys, but like, he's already a Hall of Famer, older guy taken away from the not younger, well, because LA Knight's not exactly young, but newer guys in WWE. Like, I don't want him to be seen as one of those. So like if it's Santos Escobar, like I'm cool with it, because I do like Santos Escobar, and I think he could be a good U.S. champion if he beats Austin Theory. Although I wouldn't mind seeing Austin Theory hold it a little bit longer. I think he's doing good with his heel run right now. But yeah, no, I'm a huge LA Knight fan. I wanted to see him win. I mean, I picked him for Money in the Bank. I just hope this means like maybe the Royal Rumble. Maybe
is that what you're looking forward to now? All the way to the Royal Rumble.
Him or Gunther.
Well, maybe he wins. Maybe he wins the US title. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. Is that what we pitched?
Yeah, maybe the U.S. title, maybe Royal Rumble, maybe he wins the Rumble, faces Seth Rollins. I think that would be a good WrestleMania match. The promos leading up to, I mean, that's assuming Seth Rollins is still the champion going into Mania, and not Damian Priest. But
yeah, I could see Damian Priest beating Rollins.
I don't like it when stablemates are sort of, feuding over the same belt, because there was no reason for Damian Priest not to cash in on Monday. There was no reason for Damian Priest not to cash in when Seth Rollins is laying in the middle of the ring, flat on his back, not going to get up.
I don't understand, right? I think, and I think other people brought this up. So sometimes, Damian Priest's gonna cash in, but Finn Balor interrupts, and apparently that ruins things. Like, no, he cashed it in. He can still cash it in.
Yeah. You start the match, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I just have one more little nugget of things for an upcoming AEW pay-per-view. The next big AEW pay-per-view, of course, is all in at Wembley Stadium, which is doing quite well sales-wise. I think they're near the 70,000 mark now or something like that sold. I mean, that stadium's going to be pretty damn packed for it. But I started seeing some rumors come out today about the first possible announcement of a match, and it's looking like Jericho versus Will Ospreay might be your first official match. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes over. Again, it's just a rumor at this point, a strong rumor that's what is going to be leaning towards with Don Callis involved. So I don't know, you guys' thoughts if this comes to light. Is this what you want to see Will Ospreay do in his home country of England?
Only if Kenny Omega has something bigger. How do you not do Omega Ospreay 3 in Ospreay's home country? You mean you do number 2 in Omega's home country, you do number 3 in Ospreay's home country. You don't even have to make it for the the US title, but how do you not do that? How do you not see the dollar signs with that?
And you also have the Don Callis connection, where he offered Ospreay like security or whatever, so that he could be part of I don't know. Ospreay's not fully. I don't know if he's ever going to be fully with AEW. He's probably, he's a New Japan guy, but he could be unofficially part of Don Callis' new faction that he's going to be part of, and so Jericho. So it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe this ties into maybe they're both going to be in part of the faction going forward. But yeah, I don't know how this sort of match comes together. But yeah, I sort of agree. I don't know how you don't do Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. It makes the most sense. I thought that's where they were heading.
Unless we're getting Omega and the Young Bucks against Punk and FTR.
Yeah.
You get that, I'm okay with it.
I just feel that
Jericho's turning babyface. Because I mean, or do you just go heel versus heel?
I just feel that they might be. I don't think Jericho's turning babyface anytime soon. He's looks like he's leaning more into heelishness.
Right.
But yeah. Also, I think I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk and FTR aren't even on the show necessarily because you got to remember the week after it's All Out, and I think that's in Chicago, right? Is that Chicago?
Yeah. Seems to be something in Chicago every year for.
Yeah. I think it's in Chicago. I wouldn't surprise me. I think this is a. I mean, someone pointed this. It's pitched this idea, and I think this could be where it goes. I think they're probably going to obviously going to do MJF and Adam Cole at All In, and then I think at All Out they're going to do CM Punk and Ricky Starks or whatever CM Punk says is in his bag. Well, because he doesn't even reckon he lost the title, so whatever champ, he says he's a champ, and then I think maybe at that Ash, the Ash Stadium show that they do every year, then him and MJF will have like a unification thing. That's my guess, but yeah, I think you should have like CM Punk on the show, but I wouldn't surprise me if he's not. But
they could lean into more international talent for the Wembley show, a little bit. They could use some of those guys that could use the bump on that show. I mean, who knows? I mean, they got a lot of things.
Yeah,
that roster's huge. I mean, you can do anything for that thing.
And you can put like me. You can even put like some of the Ring of Honor talent, like Aussie Open won the tag titles.
Right.
Aussie Open won the tag titles on this pay per view recently. So put them on. They're pretty popular in the UK. So
hey, that works. Well, you guys have anything else current news you want to mention before we get to our retro review tonight? Or I didn't see a whole lot else. Again, WWE's kind of still building to SummerSlam, which we'll do our predictions for next week, and then Wembley. I'm sure we'll see over the next couple of weeks. Start to build to that and start to develop that card. But yeah, other than that,
I mean, we'll see how it turns out. There is a rumor that Warner Brothers wants Discovery wants AEW to do one pay per view a month. I think that'd be a mistake.
Yeah, that would be a mistake. Yeah.
Every 2 months, I think is good. I think they're like on a 4 year. 5
every other month I'd be okay with if they bumped it up a little bit because they've got enough programming and, like I said, a roster where they could do every other month, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, what? That's 3 shows a week. 2 months, it's like what?
Yeah.
24 shows to build.
A lot of programming, to build. Yeah. Sure.
And speaking of AEW, I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently Orange Cassidy is like a producer now.
Yeah, he produces. Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting, like when the reports out like what he's actually producing, like what segments and matches he's helping with. Because I mean, I have to imagine the Mimosa match was partly his idea. I mean, him and Jericho together, like.
Yeah, it is interesting tonight too. I mean, like, to watch this past week at AEW, there's a lot of it seems to be like a lot of faction wars, and he's involved in a lot. This is like it was very faction war heavy. Like you have combat, Blackpool Combat Club kind of feuding with best friends now, and obviously Orange Cassidy is going to be part of that. But then you have the Mogul Embassy, and AR Fox is now a heel, and he turned on Darby Allin, so he's a part of Mogul Embassy. Yeah, you got the Jericho and the family thing going on, and then they're going to Jericho and Takeshita are going to take on Sammy and Daniel Garcia. So it's a weird thing. It's like all these. Yeah, so it's just like all this faction warfare. We're back to everybody in a faction, and and then like obviously even on the Ring of Honor side, you have like people who were formerly in the Dark Order fighting each other, like Stu Grayson is with like Vince Vincent, and I can't remember the other guy's name. That's in this part that tags with Vincent, but he's pretty good. He looks like Bray Wyatt and Joe Gacy, they had a really insane match. So it is weird. Like they're I don't know. They're building to some sort of faction warfare thing. I don't know, but
yeah. I think this is rare. I think we got a TV match that Dave Meltzer is rated over 5 stars. I believe the FTR Bullet Club was Probably calling it the best tag, at least the best tag team match on TV.
Why couldn't they have done that 2 weeks from now when I'll be at Collision in 2 weeks? I want to see a 5-star match.
And we'll see if the tag team match on this Saturday can top it, because we get MJF and Adam Cole against FTR for the tag team titles. Do you guys think the tag team titles will change hands, or do you think MJF is just going to turn on Adam Cole and be like, I don't need those, I got this?
Yeah, I think it'd be more of a storyline match. I think I wouldn't put it around possibility that Adam Cole, does that in MJF, doing that MJF sort of thing. I think it's just a storyline match. But I think it's just a way to build up that. But yeah, like they've been so entertaining that you don't want to split them up. But I think that's just generally the direction they're going. I mean they'll have a good match between that. But yeah, and I think it'll be it'll be good wrestling, but I think there'll be comedy in there, But I think you'll probably just do the classic heel thing where maybe Adam Cole reaches in for the tag and then MJF walk away or something.
As long as there's no dance off at the beginning.
Hip thrusts.
No hip thrusts, please.
Well, all right. Well, let's take a trip back in the time machine now that we're kind of caught up on a few current events, and let's go back 20 years. Speaking of SummerSlam, but we're going to take a look at SummerSlam 2003. So, it's going to be interesting to see. There's a few people on here who are still wrestling, and we could talk about that and we're still active. But yeah, a nice little trip back in the time machine for anybody that remembers. And when you get to see it near the beginning of the show, this was the one that had the promotion where Brock Lesnar F5'd the Shark on the beach. That is SummerSlam 2003. So,
And you won't hear it because they didn't pay the rights for it. But it was they had the theme "Saint Anger" by Metallica, but they couldn't.
I was gonna say there was a generic song that played during all the videos and things, and over some of the stuff that was clearly some kind of generic whatever music, and I was wondering which sort of big band music they edited out.
It was Saint Anger by Metallica.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a bad song though. I don't like that song.
It comes from a bad album. Yeah.
Yeah, with really bad sounding drums and things. Yeah, from what I remember. But anyways, SummerSlam 2003 from Phoenix, Arizona, August 24th, 2003. Not much to talk about pre-show. Lillian Garcia sang the national anthem. And we got right to the USA chants because those evil Frenchmen. We opened with La Resistance, Rene Dupree, and Sylvain Grenier taking on the Dudley Boys for the World Tag Team titles, which is aka the Raw Tag Team titles, essentially. Dudley Boys versus La Resistance. Not a lot to talk about here. It's pretty standard Dudley Boys face match. Not a lot. Really, the only thing coming out of this one was I was wondering going in, I was like, where's Rob Conway? Oh, he debuted at the end of this match, interfering in it as a cameraman.
Oh, well, he debuted on Raw prior as like a fake serviceman.
Yeah, but he kind of got in the ring here and interfered directly to sort of join La Resistance here.
But clearly they don't know what to call him yet because they didn't say.
Yeah, they never said his name.
Yeah, they never said his name. I'm sure he's on the next night. I did not watch. I usually try to watch like the next night's Raw or something to kind of follow up, or SmackDown, or to kind of follow up on what happened. But yeah, I'm sure that he came out with them at some point.
Yeah.
I think they started calling him later.
Yeah,
it's definitely a different time because I like when was it? Yeah, Alarm Resistance came out, and then the camera zoomed in on a sign that said 3D the Frogs.
Yeah.
There
was a lot of I remember current event wise there was a lot of muster around this. This is around the time of we need to call French fries freedom fries because those dirty French people. we don't call them freedom. This is the freedom fries era in 2003. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, French people, yuck. Yeah, USA. I do remember that in the news.
I did find it funny after he interfered that he went out and ducked. Like the referee was going to recognize him as somebody who shouldn't be there, even though he was clearly there the whole time. Picture, a cameraman.
Yeah.
Like, what are you hiding for? Like, just why are you?
It's also like there was a weird thing where like I don't know what they ever called their double team finishing move. That's sort of like a Uranagi rock bottom thing. But like they hit it randomly on Devon, and it was almost like a transition. They're only just sort of like getting it over, and then Devon just randomly kicks out. So, okay.
We hadn't gotten that over as our finisher yet, Richie. We didn't know what to do with it yet.
Mm.
Yeah, and then there's like randomly a 3D in here because they go to get the table spot, and then they get broken up, but they randomly 3D Sylvan or somebody, and then that's kind of what, and then it kind of leads into the interference, and La Resistance keeps their titles, and there's a really awkward interview with the coach on the rampway right afterwards with the Dudley boys.
Wait, like maybe foreshadowing a heel.
They were foreshadowing the heel turn that would come a few matches later. But yeah, he was kind of being a dick. He's like, "So tough loss, you guys. Those French guys. But hey, it was pretty smart, wasn't it? You got to give him credit."
Right? Yeah, he was like, yeah, and then I was like, okay, yeah. He was suspiciously, heavily involved in the show for some, you're looking back on it now. Like, yeah, you're not usually involved in the show.
Suspiciously, like right at ringside and was featured in between every match leading up to the Shane McMahon Eric Bischoff match. Yeah. And then he also does a really bad ringside interview with I don't know who the people were. I didn't even catch it. It was just random crowd people.
They're just random fans asking who's
going to win the Elimination Chamber. I was like, why is this on the show? Like, what is this?
But it reminded me of it. You know how back in the 99, 2000, I'd go to WWE York. Like, who's going to win the main event?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't care. I'm like, no offense to you fans, I don't care what you think.
Yeah, no.
Fun fact: the Dudleys would also open the show the following year, at 2004. In 2004, this time teaming with Spike, who tried to run in and then was like immediately just
geek of the
taken down, and
he immediately runs in and gets obliterated immediately. Great job, Spike.
Yeah, they're in a 6-man tag against Rey Mysterio, Kidman, and London, who are the tag team champions.
I'm guessing they're heels.
They are heels, yeah, and Spike is the cruiserweight champion. And they may not be playing right now because I just finished the Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, it just started the next one.
The next one, yeah.
Okay, cool. My peak out.
I remember when they tried doing the heel Spike thing. That was fun.
That was really silly.
Shout out to Spike though. Like, he would do the craziest spots, and like some of them would be his idea. Like, I remember hearing him talk about the Undertaker choke slamming him through like a table or something
from inside the ring to the outside of the ring.
And it was his idea. Like, no, just do it.
Well, there was one spot with La Resistance where they were meant to do the double team finisher from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring to the table, and they undershot it, and Spike missed the table and landed right on the outside on his head.
And he hit the table on the way down with his head, and it didn't break. And it was disgusting. Yeah, no, that was bad. There's compilations online of Spike Dudley getting destroyed, and it's something. Yeah, they would just toss him out inside of the ring to the outside, just 80 feet in the air and out to the floor. And you just land. It's like, okay, good luck, Spike.
There's a similar spot to that in a match we'll come up later on, not involving Goodacre, involving someone much larger than Spike Dudley. I was quite impressed. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, let's move on to some significantly bigger men here, as we had The Undertaker facing A-Train in match.
Or as they called it, the A-Train.
The A-Train, Albert. And I guess the lead up in this match is A-Train is like Vince McMahon's hired gun, who's all over this show, just manipulating different people in different matches. I know, because there's also
I guess so.
I don't know.
He's Vince is feuding with Stephanie for some reason. Doesn't like the way she's sort of running SmackDown, and then now the segment that wouldn't kind of apply today. It's like they showed a clip of Vengeance where obviously A-Train cost her a match with Sable just plowed into her.
Plowed into her, yeah. And she got supposedly internal injuries from that, is what they say. But she looks perfectly fine when she comes out later. Spoiler alert. She's perfectly fine, no problem.
And if you're the owner of a company and you don't like the way someone is running things, you can just fire them. Who cares?
She's your daughter. I don't know. You can even can you talk about it as a family as well? You don't have to.
Well, she's the general manager at this point of SmackDown. Just fire A-Train, for laying your hands on me. I don't know. And there's a weird thing with Sable where apparently A-Train did such a good job, he gets to fuck Sable as his prize. That's pretty much what they said, right?
Cool.
Did a good job, and
Women
Sable
are not prizes
and
that
Vince
you can be
McMahon told Sable to like give him her hotel key or something. Like it's implied that that was your prize. Okay.
Yeah, but it's also implied that like Vince is kind of fucking her.
Yeah, it's really weird. And Vince always had that weird stuff with the younger women on the show. He did a thing with Tori Wilson. He had stuff with Stacey Keebler. Like, it was really weird.
I mean,
but yeah,
given what would come out later, wouldn't surprise me if it was.
So anyway, Sable's ringside with A-Train just standing there for the entire match. She looks bored. She always looked bored at ringside. She never wanted to be there ever.
I will say, look, I don't. They also do a. I don't know whether she also left because obviously she left on her first tenure in WWE. She left on bad terms and accused them of sexual harassment, and then like she came obviously came back, but I don't know if she left on bad terms the second time around because they do a and they make an effort to never mention her involvement. And so, you would think that, given I was never a huge fan of her, but like, she was really popular back in the day. So I thought maybe she would be in consideration for the Hall of Fame at some point. But I don't know if that's the thing. Like, the only kind of connection she has to WWE at the moment is because she's the wife of Brock Lesnar. But I don't know. Like, I would say she's quite lucky to be even that we even know she is because like I felt bad for Mark Mero because Mark Mero showed up. He's talented dude, and Vince was like, "Oh, you're cool, but man, your wife's hot. Let's put her on TV."
Forget you. Get out of here. We're just gonna keep her. And I always forget. Yeah, she was around SmackDown again around this time for like a year or so, and then she just kind of disappeared again. She pretty much disappeared once Brock disappeared too, coincidentally around the same time. I wonder why. Anyway,
what were they doing for 12 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Or 8 years.
But back to this match. It's a 9-minute match. I wrote serviceable but unspectacular. It's like they're doing moves. They're doing moves. They don't like botch anything. It's fine. Albert works on his ribs a little bit. Undertaker makes a comeback, choke slam him, and he wins. It's nothing really to write home about. It's fine. It doesn't go too long. After the match, Sable kind of gets in the ring to distract Taker. He goes to do violence against her, but then Stephanie McMahon's music hits, and she comes out looking perfectly fine, uninjured. A few weeks later, and they have a mini cat fight. Albert drags her out. They run away, and that's pretty much it. And apparently, Stephanie has forgiven Undertaker for kidnapping her several years earlier and performing a ritual on her.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah, time heals things. It was only 4 years ago, but hey. I forgive you.
If Vince and Steve can work out their problems,
everybody,
I think everybody
they worked it out.
It was just it was a different time. But another interesting thing, like a year ago at this point, like Undertaker took on Test, which we reviewed, and now he's using A-Trade, so he did give us TNA.
And this stuff between Undertaker and Vince would go all the way to Survivor Series because they would have a Buried Alive match where Vince would be busted open after the first punch and was just like bleeding.
He was gushing that whole match. Oh my goodness! But then the end of that match would lead to Undertaker returning as the Dead Man later because he would get buried alive during that match by Kane, and then will return later at WrestleMania. Because I think he was hurt at the time and needed time to heal, so he had some kind of injury. But
they do really good at building up Undertaker matches without Undertaker actually showing up. Because I know they did it for Kane, the Kane Undertaker match, and then several years later they did the same for Bray and Undertaker because it was just after the streak had ended.
Yeah,
that one was mostly Bray because Bray at that time was just really good. But they did. Yeah, you guys come back as Dead Man.
But you guys get any more thoughts on this match, or should we just move on?
It's not much of a match. I think they could at this time they could potentially have a better match, but I don't know. They just might not give him much time, or because I like A-Train. I like that Undertaker at this point, or maybe it's just hurting, but I don't know. I think they could have. I don't know. They're only just putting A-Train in this spot where it's like, he could be like a credible thing. So I don't know if the crowd was sort of buying him as like a You know,
guy,
they,
yeah, the
they
redhead.
never really bought him as a guy who could beat the Undertaker, so they probably took it out of the match too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see A Train in that kind of upper echelon spot where he could be considered a monster, but they only really pushed him every, like, you know, maybe his pushes only ever lasted like a month or two.
Yeah.
But
No, they push him when they needed to. You know, when they needed a big guy. Hey, there's a big guy who can work. Okay, but we move on to a match that it's not much of a match itself so much as just a flurry of angles and character stuff. Yeah, Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. Yeah, this came about apparently. Yeah, and I remembered all this stuff because I was watching Raw around this time. But yeah, there was a thing where Stone Cold had Kane sort of try to wrestle Eric Bischoff, but whoever won would face Shane McMahon. So Kane walked out on the match. Bischoff wins, but didn't read the fine print where the winner would have to face Shane at SummerSlam. Yeah, it was a weird thing where the angles of Shane versus Kane and like Eric Bischoff and Linda McMahon and Stone Cold and all that were kind of like intertwined on all these shows. Yeah, and it was like they were all kind of crossing over all these storylines. So it's like Shane's mad at Eric Bischoff because apparently he sexually assaulted Linda McMahon, I guess, in a hotel room.
But yeah. Like, well, what we saw is he forces himself on Linda McMahon, and she was recovering because Kane tombstoned her.
Yes.
But again, as we'll see, even old ladies can recover from that thing in a couple of weeks because she shows up later. But yeah, and then that sort of just like, you know, like forcibly kisses her, but then like. Then comes out and goes, "Oh, we did it all night long." But I assume he was lying. Hopefully, he was. He didn't actually force himself onto it. But yeah. So he's mad about that. But then, yeah, obviously, there's you know, you got the intermingling thing with Kane to build up, you know, their feud later on. But yeah, but this is essentially an angle. But you know, it was fun. I had fun with this.
It's fun for what it is. Yeah, it's not really a match so much as like, yeah, it's just a bunch of angles and stuff. But the crowd was into it. Yeah, it kind of starts out. Shane McMahon just beats the shit out of Eric Bischoff for like 5 minutes. He's throwing his Shane McMahon punches, which are incredibly dangerous. Wildly wailing on him and kicking him and throwing him all over the place till he gets to the outside near the announce table. And out of nowhere, they pull the trigger and the coach attacks Shane McMahon with a chair and and becomes Eric Bischoff's flunky. Yes.
I remember watching this live, you know, like, you know, can I think that is like, because obviously now you can pick up on the clues is very right today. It's like, why is this dude all over the show? But now then I'm like, that is the most random thing ever. Why is okay? All right, props to you. That wasn't I never thought Coach would be a character, but yeah, it's just like it was.
Coach would be a physical character and not just like a doofus backstage or like an occasional announcer, you know, like play-by-play guy. But yeah, because I did remember around this time he became sort of Bischoff's flunky guy that then would wrestle way too much. Whatever, because even Ring of the Hawk did a thing about the coach's run as a wrestler, and he had like even the Hawk at the beginning. He's like, I don't remember this guy having like 20 matches, but Jesus Christ, he had like 20 matches, and none of them were good. But yeah, he was like occasional wrestler, but mostly Bischoff flunky. He attacks Shane with a chair. He does the thing I do like sometimes where the heels commentate their own beatings, which was kind of fun. Where he's just like, Eric Bischoff, oh, what a slobber knocker. Oh, Bischoff with a great kick, you know, and then
if you want to see the best of that, I don't know if you ever saw it, but Booker T on Impact one time, TNA did that, where he was like, Booker T, it's so funny.
But yeah, eventually Stone Cold Steve Austin, co-general manager, has had enough. But for anybody who didn't know, around this time, he could not attack anybody unless he was physically provoked. That was a stipulation that Linda McMahon did. But Shane McMahon shoves Coach into Stone Cold, so then he's able to attack Coach because of that and stomp the shit out of him. Then Shane McMahon grabs Eric Bischoff's hand and slaps Stone Cold, so he's able to stunner him, and then Shane McMahon does his big elbow drop through the table and pins Eric Bischoff for the win.
Because after the coach's involvement, and he like throws him to the stairs. Which at the time I was shocked too, because you don't usually hear swearing, but he goes, "Yeah, introduce this piece of shit to those stairs," and then and he does that, and he goes, "No, this is going to be force count anywhere," and then I did laugh really hard. Just the optics of it was really funny when Shane and Austin were both stopping Muddle in coach. It looked funny.
Yeah, no, that was funny. Jacob, what do you think of this whole angle and match and all this?
Yeah, it's pretty much what it was. As a match, like it's
not a match.
Yeah, with all the different angles, good heel stuff. I think this was like my favorite. Part of Stone Cold at this time was just the not being able to attack anyone unless provoked, and just
provoked,
the different ways that people would provoke him was great. Yeah, so that stuff was good. But I mean, more of an angle, but we don't get Intercontinental Champion Christian on the show except for a backstage segment with Eric Bischoff. So but we needed this match. Yeah, no, this was good.
Yeah,
we don't get any women matches. There's no women on the show.
No women's matches. Yeah, Christian flat out says, "Why am I not on the show? I'm the Intercontinental Champion. How do I not have a match?" And I kind of agree with him. Why does he not have a match? He probably should. Bischoff should have taken up his offer. Having Christian out there instead of Coach would have been a vast improvement.
Give me the Coach who's not a trained wrestler over the Intercontinental.
Yeah, right. And he's not even like that big or anything. Like, he's in shape, but he's not like he's a big A-train sized bodyguard or something. It's strange. Like, that's the guy you want watching your back. Okay.
Also, you look at it, right? Look at authority figures. Vince is on both, but like. For now, this time period, he's associated with SmackDown because he's doing the same as Stephanie. He's got Brock Lesnar and he's got A-Train. Eric Bischoff's got Coach.
And eventually Chief Morley. Val Venus. Yeah,
I liked him as Chief Morley at the time, but it's like
But again, you could have had any number of other people. Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, you pick two kind of insignificant guys. But it is what it is. That winds down, and again, mostly an angle. They have a beer bash with. I think one of the only beer bashes where the person he's having a beer bash with didn't get stunned because Shane avoids a stunner, even though he's having
because Shane doesn't provoke him.
Oh yeah,
I get why, but also disappointed because Shane would take the stunner really well. It's quite funny.
Yeah, no, he always did.
At this time, yes.
Yes.
Nowadays, maybe not so much.
Well, Vince McMahon can never take the stunner ever. But Shane was all right. But we finally get some actual good wrestling on the show. It takes a little while to get there, but we get some good wrestling because we've got a U.S. title fatal four-way of Chris Benoit, Tajiri, Rhino, and Eddie Guerrero. One fall to a finish, all going out for the title. It literally only goes until a little over 10 minutes, but it's probably one of the better 10 minutes you'll ever see. It's pretty much a sprint for most of it. Most guys just kind of working with each other. Eddie for a little bit is just kind of ducking in and out, hitting somebody and then kind of running away, doing his little kind of lying and cheating, stealing thing. There's some good stuff here. There's a good spot where Rhino tries to gore Eddie, but he's holding the belt at his chest, so Rhino kind of knocks himself out. That was a good little spot. There's Chris Benoit hits a flying headbutt, and they kind of him and Jerry go out of the ring, and Eddie's able to get a frog splash on Rhino and keep the belt. But good stuff. Yeah, what'd you guys think of this? I thought it was a pretty good little 10-minute sprint for what it was.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. There was at one point where they were just moving that I thought maybe my TV was on like 1.5 speed because they were just moving. But but no, good action. It was I couldn't tell like off the bat if Eddie was a heel or not because the crowd gave him a pretty good reaction when he came out.
He was kind of he hadn't decided yet. He was kind of a tweener around this time. Like they didn't know. He kind of went back and forth on being like a heel or a baby at this time, like depending on what they needed him to be. It was very weird. Like he was
6 months later, he'd be like the biggest, probably
baby face on SmackDown. But he was still kind of half teaming with like Chavo around this time, and like they were kind of heels, and like because I know at Survivor Series 03, I think it's like them versus like Edge and Ray or something. I don't know, like something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think they're still kind of heelish, but not really.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
know Eddie Guerrero and Tajiri were tag champions. That's a weird
at
history.
Judgment
Don't know.
Day. Yeah,
And
Yeah, I
but
think that
like
was just before this at some point.
but I think Eddie turned on Tajiri because Tajiri accidentally like maybe scratched his lowrider or something,
Mhm.
Well, I think they lost the titles too.
yeah, and then slammed him on the hood of it. So yeah,
I mean, it's already scratched, so
Benoit and Rhino were like tag champions at one point, and
well,
then
they
they
were
turned
tag
on
team,
each
and
other.
Rhino turned on
Rhino
Benoit.
turned on him, so like
yeah,
it's a
they
lot of
teamed
partners
together at
turning on
Wrestle.
each
There's a
other.
lot of WrestleMania callbacks here.
Yeah,
in Summerslam because Chris Benoit and Rhino had teamed up at WrestleMania 19.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, not a ton to say here. It's a pretty good 10-minute sort of sprint, and everybody gets some good
People
spots.
forget how good Rhino was.
Yeah, I forget how good Rhino's spine buster was. He had a great spine buster on Tajiri in this match.
He's another one like people forget. I think people forget how well he works with like smaller guys.
Yeah, he's really good because he's not a super huge guy, but he works like a big guy.
Yeah,
you know, like but in a good way. But he can pull it off. Yeah,
and he's got that. Like him and Benoit would make a good tag team because they're both like not super huge dudes, but they got that intensity.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was good. There's not much to say. It was good. It was a good match. Yeah. We finally had a good match. You know, a pretty damn good match.
Might be my second favorite of the night.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we move on from that to before we get to Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, a rematch from WrestleMania. I didn't forget about it, but I was reminded of the obliteration of Zach Gowen by Brock Lesnar as they show in the video before this match. Jesus Christ, I forgot how much he beat the shit out of Zach Gowen on that episode of SmackDown. I mean, he's like F5ing him into the post. He's just launching him all over the place. He's suplexing the shit out of him. He hits him right in the head with a chair on the outside.
I believe also, I don't know if it was after this or I don't know if it was after this or before that or leading to this as well, but he ties him to a chair and throws him down some stairs.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! He just beat the ever living shit out of Zach Gowen. It was.
I hope he got a good payday for that because he took a lot of damage.
Yeah, because they talk about how Zach Gowen was supposed to, I guess, obviously it's a storyline thing, but he was supposed to have a match with it's like who is it, like Shanny Moore or something like that? I don't know, somebody.
Spanky, wasn't it?
Brian Kendrick or something. Yeah, he's supposed to have a match, make his official in-ring debut, but that wouldn't happen. I think he would go on to have a match at the next SmackDown pay-per-view, like No Mercy or something. It was like him and Stephanie versus like A-Train or something. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, anyways, he would eventually kind of a semi-regular wrestler, but it was only for a brief period of like 2 months, and then he was kind of gone again.
I believe the only person he actually beat on pay-per-view was Matt Hardy.
Maybe.
I believe he beat Matt Hardy.
Yeah, something like that.
Version
1, yeah. He was on Heat. Oh, that's who he was supposed to face because he cuts a promo on Heat saying he wins it by forfeit over Zach Gowen. That's what it was. They show that later. But anyways, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle, the champion going into this one. Yeah, rematch from WrestleMania. Hell of a match. I probably not as good as the WrestleMania one, just as far as on an epic scale, just because of the sort of storyline stuff they have to kind of do with Vince here and the ref bumps and stuff. You know, it just doesn't reach that level. But they go about 20 minutes, and I mean, these two guys have great chemistry. It's great wrestling all around, and they're suplexing each other all over the place, throwing each other around. I said they got some good stuff near the end where Angle was like countering the F5 into like ankle locks and things, and eventually he taps out Brock Lesnar with the ankle lock. And I remember it led to a lot of crowd stuff that he would play into in the next month or two. The "You tapped out" chance. So I think it's the first time he taps out on camera. So yeah, what'd you guys think of this rematch from WrestleMania?
Well, two things I like. Well, one is like, this is the one I was alluding to where Brock Lesnar at one point gorilla press slams Kurt Angle right out of the ring. I'm like, holy shit! That looked gnarly. That was cool. It was really good. These two have really good chemistry. It's one of this didn't. I mean, it's an interesting placement. I guess they didn't want this to overshadow
say
things.
this should have gone before the Elimination Chamber. It's really weird.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
then,
weird
like,
that
I
it's
completely forget about the RVD Kane thing that happens right after this. But I was like, that's weird. This should be the semi-main event, right? Like,
yeah,
and it's not.
Should be
It's
the
very
main event.
probably should have been. We'll still talk about it. But yeah, no, I was the placement of this was very weird because then they go to RVDK and I'm like, oh yeah, that match hasn't happened yet. That match should have been number 5. There's literally no reason why it shouldn't have been.
yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. So really good match. Probably sit down from the WrestleMania one, but WrestleMania one's one of the best matches. Like, one of my favorite matches ever. So that it's hard to live up to that. But yeah, it's still a really good spot here. Like there was that one where Kurt Angle gets him into like a sleeper, like using like scissoring his legs. I'm like, oh, that's new. You don't see that very often. There's really unique spots, and yeah, they just got really, really really good chemistry. And yeah, I feel like this match would. We'll get to the crowd reactions and stuff in the Elimination Chamber. I feel like from a technical point, this match would be appreciated more if these two are in their prime, like today. Yeah, because I think there's more appreciation for like technical work rate than there maybe was. Yeah. There was some annoying things in the Elimination Chamber match. That, anyway, I'll get to it. But there's
Was this the match where they were doing the wave?
I think they were. That there was just
Was that a different SummerSlam?
Yeah, but yeah, this is this match is great, and a good sort of good finish there. That's the other thing. So it's like I like how Brock sold the ankle the whole time. Because sometimes there's a lot of times in wrestling it's like people just get back up, they don't sell stuff. And,
no, he goes to try to hit another F5 after that long ankle lock, and he has trouble standing up and getting him on the shoulders. Yeah, he was selling it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's good.
And he was and he was selling the shoulder the whole time after he ran into the post, trying to shoulder press him in the post, and then he hit his shoulder, and then all the German suplexes he kept selling his shoulder throughout all the German suplexes. So yeah, I mean Brock was so good. Like he's working like a 10-year veteran in this match, and he's been on television for a year and a half. That's nuts. Yeah. And he looks like a 10-year veteran where, instinctually, he just looks good. He was just really, really good. Almost like Kurt Angle, who Kurt Angle was.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. These two match up well together because they're very similar in careers, where they both came up. They both progressed very quickly, and then they adapted to it very quickly. Mm-hmm. They came from amateur wrestling background. They both adapted to it very quickly and became very, very good. And like the sort of once a million sort of talents. So yeah, and that's probably why they match up so well. But yeah, this match is really good, and I mean, I did like when Vince got involved, and then he hit Kurt Angle with the chair, and then the ref got up, and Vince was just like, I did like.
Put his hand behind his back. Oh, I'm just watching the match.
I'm your boss. So
I liked when Kurt Angle had him in the ankle lock and Brock kept going for the different ropes, and every time he went to a different one, Vince would run around to that rope and he ran around to the other one and ran around to the other one so he could keep facing him. But he didn't interfere after that, and Brock Lesnar tapped out in the middle of the ring. He didn't try to get in the ring again or whatever. At least he, it was still somewhat of a clean finish, despite all that. But Jacob, what'd you think of this one overall?
Yeah, and I think nowadays some people will be like, oh, that finish makes Brock look weak and blah, blah, blah. But there's no making Brock look weak. Let's be honest. You don't make Brock look weak. It just makes Kurt look really strong and like a really good champion. This match was great. This was my favorite match of the night. I think we had two really good back-to-back matches here. I think you could arguably say that Kurt Angle, even though it's only a year long, there's an argument to be made that in ring wise, this is a top 5 rivalry when it comes to just in ring work alone, not overall.
Yeah, because you have WrestleMania, you have this match, you have the Iron Man match on SmackDown, which is awesome. That's a great match.
Yeah,
and any number of times they were in tag team matches against each other or whatever, and 3 triple threat matches, whatever. But yeah, these guys just had very natural wrestler versus wrestler chemistry. Yeah, and that's
why it sucked that when towards the end of his career, Kurt Angle was so broken down, because I think otherwise there'd be sort of people clamoring that Kurt Angle should have had his last match against Brock Lesnar. but yeah, he was a shell of himself at that point. But
But
yeah,
Baron Corbin.
yeah.
Baron Corbin. Yeah, jeez. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, so yeah, we move on from that. Kurt Angle retains the title, and we move on to RVD versus Kane. Again, kind of the Kane storyline, which has kind of been ever present throughout most of the show. But yeah, before he faces Shane, he has some unfinished business with RVD because RVD was his tag partner when he did the unmasking there, and then kind of had a thing off and on with RVD for a little while. But yeah, before the match, it's announced that it'll be no holds barred. So it's essentially just a hardcore match. I mean, it feels like a hardcore title match. That's not for a hardcore title, because I don't think they do anything that goes to like the next level here, or anything. It kind of just feels like they're just doing a little plunder here and there. They use a ladder a little bit, but not really, just kind of hitting here and there. They brawl around, and then the finish is Kane RVD or Tombstone's RVD on the stairs, much like Shane McMahon, and then rolls him back in and pins him. But it kind of feels like an anticlimactic thing, just because it's like Kane versus Shane is like the main storyline, but then it's like, oh yeah, we gotta, I guess, kind of finish this in the meantime, and then RVD just kind of gets thrown out there as like a sacrificial lamb. So I don't know. What'd you guys think about this? I don't know. I thought it was okay, but yeah, not.
I mean, like you could have just done maybe Kane and Shane here, and then because there was a storyline reason for like RVD to be in the Elimination Chamber match. Because RVD accidentally injured Triple H last year, so like you could have played off that and maybe put RVD in the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, I don't. So I don't know.
Maybe instead of Orton, because Orton being in the Elimination Chamber didn't make a ton of sense to me.
Didn't make a ton of sense.
Because then it was like, Orton, you got to make sure Triple H leaves with the title, but he just gets eliminated before Triple H is even in the match. So like, that could have been RVD. Yeah, and it wouldn't have, it would have been roughly the same match essentially.
Yeah. It is weird that there's like the second match on this card where they're like, oh, by the way, this match is no DQ.
By the way, reminder. Yeah.
I've just been informed.
They just decide on the fly. It's like, oh, mate, we should. Yeah, anyway. Also, before this match, just because it was really random and I thought it was fun, before the match, they go, oh, they just cut to this random chick in the crowd, and they're like, oh, this chick is the one that WWE.com
Diva search. Yeah, when it was literally.
And then who the fuck is that?
I looked her up, and apparently, she never made any other on-screen appearances. It was before the Diva search was like a thing, really. It was literally just here's random women on the website, vote for them, and she won, and then she just became a fitness model afterward. That's it.
Okay, I thought maybe she wanted to cut. Yeah, okay.
No, she never made any like other on-screen appearances or anything. This was it, and it was before, the Diva search. I think the next year would finally become like a thing on television, to where they would actually have people like win it or because I didn't like Ashley Massaro win or something like that at one point.
Christy Hemme won the first one.
Christy Hemme, and Candice Michelle, right, something like that. But so I mean, it became a thing later. But yeah, that was really random. But I looked her up. She just does like fitness Instagram kind of modeling. That's it.
Okay, yeah. And then obviously King had to get his creepy line in. Oh, we don't want to, I would like to have her.
Of course, King.
Of course, yeah. Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, this match is just like sort of this match almost felt like an angle because you knew that RVD wasn't going to win this match. It was just a showcase of like this new kind of version of Kane, and what he could do. And then like obviously, I mean, obviously JR is good in this match because obviously he has like he has reason to be mad at Kane because he set Kane on fire. I mean, I see he set JR on fire, which look like I can say it because it's not real, but that was really funny.
Yeah, it sounds very ADR into that segment. Yeah, just like they. It sounds pretty fake. It doesn't even sound like him.
But it just felt like a bit of an angle. There's no there's no way RVD was going to win this match, and Tombstone's on the steps. That was his kind of thing. But yeah, it's just sort of there. You could have even I don't know. This could be on the middle of the card, and I mean, all right, whatever. But yeah, you could have. Yeah, you could have done like just You could have done like Kane and Shane and just had Eric Bischoff off the show.
Yeah, they would do 2 matches at the next 2 pay-per-views. They would have a match at Unforgiven, then they have a match at Survivor Series.
Survivor
So
Series, yeah.
they would get back to it, but yeah, it kind of felt like a weird diversion here. But Jacob, what do you think about this one? Anything?
I actually really enjoyed this, especially when it looked like RVD was making a comeback. I thought he had a, when he was in control, I thought it moved really well. But I don't think there was anyone that thought RVD was going to win this match, especially with this new
If we were doing predictions for this one back in the day, nobody would predict RVD winning this match at all.
No, but you got to make it hardcore, give him a chance. But yeah, no. I thought it was good. Like I think this kind of I go back and forth between this and the 4-way as to which match I like better for my second favorite. I thought this was actually really good. I just think it was a little weird putting this between the 2 title matches as the right before the main event. Like if this was like second or third on the card, like I think that would have made more sense. Like not right before the main event. I always think like your championships should close the show, like your main championships. Like so
There was
a weird placement as far as the match card, but I think it was still a really good match.
There was a funny point in the match where like, I think RBD went for like a coast to coast and JR was like, he hit Kane right in the face.
And it's like, no, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he missed, man. And then King had to correct him, like he missed.
Yeah, JR did that a lot. No, he didn't hit the solo Van Terminator. No, he didn't. I think he did hit one in the TLC match though. He hit a Van Terminator on King.
Yeah.
But no, he did not hit that JR. Who's here? Who's that? Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Showed up.
All right, let's start over.
No, we're not. We're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber now. So, yeah.
It's where Goldberg falls.
Yeah, that's the story of this match that most people remember. I will say up front, I actually really like this match a lot. I think the story of this match is really good as far as like how they use everybody in it. And I think it moves really fast. It's only a 20-minute match. I think it flies by pretty damn fast. But yeah, this match is more infamously known as being in the middle of the Triple H 2003 Reign of Terror, as we saw with him and Booker T at WrestleMania. Then we see with him and Goldberg here, and with him and Shawn Michaels, how he just kind of refused to lose. But yeah, Triple H, HBK, Orton, Jericho, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg in the second ever Elimination Chamber here at SummerSlam. I've got some notes kind of throughout the match, and then I'll go to you guys. Match starts with Jericho and Shawn Michaels. Probably a smart idea. The two kind of best sort of cardio workers in this match, probably. And sort of reuniting their feud. They work for a little bit, or Orton comes in. They do some more stuff. Again, good wrestling, doing kind of their thing, but no real threats here. Kevin Nash comes in for all of about 5 minutes. Probably a smart idea because he's definitely the worst worker in this match. But he serves his purpose. He comes in, beats up Orton for a little while, and then gets super kicked and pinned pretty damn quickly, and then rolled up. He gets eliminated, but then jackknifes the shit out of everybody right afterwards. Holy shit, the jackknife he hit on Orton was disgusting in this damn thing. Orton just bounced right off that damn mat, and it looked gross. I will say that. Yeah, holy hell, because he also jackknifed Jericho, which looked bad, but god damn it, the one he hit on Orton was brutal. Holy shit. And then he leaves. HBK super kicks Triple H right before he's supposed to come in at number 5. So he kind of sit out for the next couple of minutes. And then Goldberg comes in and fucking murders everybody for like 6 minutes. It's kind of glorious for what Goldberg is supposed to be. He looks like an absolute animal. The crowd is eating it up. And then, god damn it, Triple H just can't lose. Hits him with a sledgehammer and pins him right in the middle of the ring. And you could feel the air get sucked out of the building in Phoenix, Arizona that night as the crowd collectively groans and goes, "Oh, Triple H, you just had to kill the momentum of Goldberg." So, yeah, let's go around the horn and talk about this match, guys. What do you think?
It feels very reminiscent of like, oh my god, Cody's going to beat Roman Reigns, and then and you're like, but yeah, no. I thought it's decent, but yeah, it goes. But the annoying thing in the crowd, I would say, is it's like, I mean, I know, yeah, like I know it's hot at the time, and it's just a different era where work rate wasn't as appreciated as now. But like, you have Shawn Michaels and Jericho, two of me the best workers in the match, and all comes later, and then they're working at a high pace, but the crowd couldn't give a shit. They were chanting Goldberg the whole time. Like, no, Goldberg,
Go
like.
over.
These two are putting on a good, these two have got great chemistry. At least Jericho's one Jericho's sort of greatest adversary. They have great chemistry, and then Orton comes in, another great worker. Again, couldn't give a shit. Oh yeah, and then Kevin Nash comes in, does his thing, and then gets good out. I wonder. In my head, I'm like, I wonder if that's it's probably because he's not as good a worker. But two, it's like, yeah, he didn't. Man, that dude just refuses to job to Goldberg, doesn't he? He didn't want to get pinned by Goldberg. Yeah.
No. Well, we'd be afraid we'd bring that up as soon as Goldberg came in. Oh, hey, the guy who broke his streak is in there with him right now. Yeah, that, and he may not have wanted to work with Triple H anymore either because they'd already had their couple of matches and they were not great. But
but yeah. So and then but Nash getting his power bombs in was fun. But there was just like the Triple H period where like Triple H now, the view of him is like this, kind of selfless guy who listens to the fans, or he will push these up and coming guys, and he's got his finger on the pulse of the product. But back then, if you believe it, he was very much the Hulk Hogan of his era, where he would.
I just looked it up. This is the first of 4 chamber wins for Triple H.
Yeah,
Go on to win 3 more of these matches.
Ooh-wee.
This was very much. He would sort of play politics to his favor. Use the fact that he's in with the family to his favor, and win matches that maybe it makes sense for him not to win. Like this one, like the Booker T one at WrestleMania 19, and it's also a weird era where he was wearing those bike shorts.
Yeah, the long shorts, and then later he would have the goofy mustache. Remember the long mustache he had for a little while too? Yeah. That was really weird.
Also, a weird fact. This is weird because he was, think about this because he's injured for a while. This was Randy Orton's first pay-per-view match.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, that kind of tracks because he's like a jobber in 02. It's really not till 03 that he's kind of a thing.
Well, and I was going to say, I think he took off right after this. He started doing the Legend Killer gimmick, which is where he really took off.
I'm just saying that tracks 03.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, give him credit because 1 year later he's fucking champ. He defeats Name Redacted.
Because he was in 02, like he debuts in 02, but then he gets, I think,
hurt.
And then he gets brought to Raw. And he gets hurt, and then I think while hurt, he turns heel because he does those stupid
that he does over any news network or whatever. He's cocky giving you injury updates. So and then So speaking of the link too, because I'm only here for fun facts. I didn't watch this. This is the 3rd shortest Elimination Chamber of all time out of 32. For whatever reason, in 2022, they must have rushed it because both the men's and women's were less than 16 minutes. The one Brock won, and the one Bianca won.
Well, it's probably because in this one they came in every 3 minutes. I think later they would change it to 5, right?
Yeah, like I said, I mean everything else is definitely past that.
Well, the one that Brock was
with
in,
Asuka is pretty short too.
5 minutes.
Right. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah.
And then once Goldberg got into this match, he pretty much pinned everybody within about 2 minutes a pop, like as soon as he got in. So
on average, it's usually in the 30s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but Jacob, what do you think about this one overall? I guess you weren't as hot on it, overall, huh? But
I wasn't like you said. Goldberg comes in and Randy's eliminated at the 13-minute mark. Chris Jericho's eliminated at the 16-minute mark. So within 3 minutes, all 3 of those guys were eliminated. And then it's just down to Triple H and Goldberg, and apparently, Triple H seems dog tired, even though he was only in the match for actually in the match for 3 minutes. But apparently, whatever happened to him, that one kick or whatever, really took it out of him. Mm-hmm. I thought the spear, the Goldberg spear on Jericho was a nice spot. Because although seems weird to do that in the second ever because it's like, oh yeah, this glass is it's hard to break. It's not gonna break. Very sad.
And then not only does he spear Jericho through it, but he also just kicks it open to Triple H's pod.
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah, he just Sparta kicks the plexiglass out of Triple H's pod. Yeah,
but I thought it was great. Opening with Shawn and Chris. Like again, there's just so many callbacks to WrestleMania that I love because Shawn and Jericho. That's one of my favorite matches of all time. Seeing them started off was awesome. Randy Orton coming in. I think once Kevin Nash came in, like the quality for me just dropped. But going back to 2003, like 13-year-old me loved seeing Goldberg just annihilate everyone.
Yeah.
Going back and watching it 20 years later, it's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. But looking at it with like 2003 lenses, it's great. Like that's what we wanted from Goldberg.
That's what he should be doing, and that's how they pushed him. But and that's what he does in this match. And the crowd was, you have to give credit. The crowd was loving it. The crowd was into it. They were like, "Oh shit, this is fucking awesome."
It was a good crowd actually. Like throughout the night, I think the crowd was really good. I think just the rewatchability for me, it's like, well, I mean, it's Goldberg doing Goldberg things, but when you look at it, like I said, in those 2003 lenses, like, well, yeah, this is what we wanted from Goldberg at the time. We just wanted him to destroy people because that's who Goldberg was.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess back then, really liked the match, but like now it's like we've seen better Elimination Chamber matches, in my opinion. Like for me personally, I've seen ones that I like better, but this one is still serviceable. I think this one still is good. I think it's worthy of the main event spot given who's involved. But like, I think we're just, we had, in my opinion, 3 really good matches before it that I was kind of like, okay, that's how we're closing the show.
It's also, when I'm watching it was just reminding me of like, the WWE version of Goldberg's theme sucks.
I watched it on Peacock. I thought they played the WCW version. They played the WCW version on mine. Yeah.
Okay.
That WWE version did suck when they changed it, but I played it on here and they played the WCW version.
Okay, maybe on my version they got in the Australian one still got the thing on it. But yeah, that WWE version sucks.
Yeah, no, that version was terrible. But yeah, so again, I think this match is more known for the finish, them killing Goldberg's momentum, and he never recovered from it because they killed his momentum here, and then they tried to get it back, and it just wasn't the same because he would win the title the next month against Triple H in a one-on-one match, but like, he should have done it here. He should have done it here when they killed everybody.
He'd lose it at Armageddon too, and like it was like he was in a triple threat with him and Kane, I believe, and Kane just chokeslammed him, and then like Triple H picked up the pin. I'm like, well, okay, righto.
Lose with a chokeslam. Okay.
Goldberg should have held it until Brock Lesnar cost him the title because if the WrestleMania plan all along was Goldberg Lesnar, well, Goldberg cost Lesnar his title, Brock cost Goldberg his title.
Have a match.
Got a match, Like Goldberg should have had like a good 4, 5, 6 month reign with the title, not.
Yeah, well, and Goldberg should have faced different people because Triple H and HBK would kind of pick up their feud again later on in the year, which is fine. They should have just done their thing and picked that feud back up and let Goldberg, have matches with whoever, Kane or Edge or whoever, whoever.
I think he had a good triple threat with Shawn, and I can't remember who else.
Yeah, he can face Shawn, whoever. Yeah, anybody. And other things.
Or let them have matches with people that can be established. Triple H is already. That's the problem. Is Triple H was established at this point, so he doesn't need he could have a feud with Randy Orton. Why not? Let Goldberg have a feud with Randy Orton at the time. I don't know. Let Goldberg.
No, again, you're not going to let him just kill the young upstart Randy Orton, like, and then.
I know, but I guess so. Yeah, but like, I don't know, but you know what I mean, like young people who could, deserve the main event kind of rub, I guess.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, that's SummerSlam 2003. Yeah, I guess we'll do a quick score and then we'll get to some trivia. So out of 10, what would you guys give it?
There's trivia?
Yeah. I told you. Trivia, right?
And I was all set to do well.
Let him hear.
I wrote another one. I was all said that I was all supposed to be a Jacob Barber versus Richie 1-on-1 because you weren't going to be here. But if you want
now,
I guess
now it's three-way again.
All right, I guess that's up to the competitors if you want JPO to enter. I still could have it as a 1-on-1, but
he can. But the real winner will be whoever gets the most points between me and Richie.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
like a side bet.
okay.
Lose.
Richie,
unless he actually loses, in which case, he's in the match.
Yeah, then suck it.
What would you guys give this out of 10 overall, kind of as a show, as a whole?
I'd say it started off okay. Those first two matches in that angle were okay. Nothing that was like bad. Like I wouldn't say you don't watch it if you're rewatching the show. So watch the whole show. I think this is the so those first three, these last four, either really good, great, or just whatever. I'd go like a solid 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 for me personally.
Okay. Yeah, Richie?
Yeah, I'd say maybe I'll go 6.5. It's not nothing offensively bad on the show. There's some good stuff. The Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle match is really good. The rest is good. The rest, the other stuff is okay. The Dudleys and Jump's okay. Nothing right now about Kane RBD is okay. It's just positioned wrong. There's no real bad matches here, just bad booking. And then the Elimination Chamber, while it could be good, I just the decisions there. Triple H, but basically kind of going Vince going fuck what you want kind of thing, and Triple H going fuck what you want kind of thing, and then like basically holding Goldberg's win off to a B pay-per-view. And not having him win at SummerSlam or more, that was. And I feel like when I think of SummerSlam 2003, that's what I think of that's where Goldberg lost, and he shouldn't have got pinned this early. So it does leave a sour taste in my mouth, but there's enough here to not give it a bad review. So I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, I'm kind of in Richie's camp, sort of a 6.5, only because I don't think there's a single classic match on this thing. I think, Lesnar and Kurt is really good, but again, not as good as the WrestleMania match or even the Iron Man match on SmackDown. I think those are both kind of bona fide classics. Had Goldberg gone over and destroyed everybody and won the title, I think it'd be like a pretty damn solid way to end a pay-per-view and would have bumped it up another point or so, I think it would have been fun to watch. It kind of ends on a dud and ends with that heat. We got to get that heat. It's like, no, you could have just had him gone over and then do heat later. Pull the trigger on it. But again, nothing that's horrendous on this show. I don't think there's really a Shane and Eric's not a good match, but it's an okay angle.
It's a fun angle.
It's a fun angle, but there's not really a bad match. Even maybe Undertaker A-Train is kind of the worst match, and even that's okay. It's just kind of would have worked better as a TV match or something. So, I think still a pretty solid watch. Nice breezy watch, but still. Good. So you could do way worse than SummerSlam 2003. So
Kurt Angle loved his SummerSlam rematches, WrestleMania rematches at SummerSlam because we had Kurt and Brock, and then the next year he had a rematch with Eddie.
Okay.
Fun fact.
There you go. Well, SummerSlam usually has WrestleMania rematches a lot of times. A lot of
or in this year's case, has a rematch from a month ago with Finn and Seth. But or it has a SummerSlam rematch, which in a sense because Finn and Seth initially happened at SummerSlam. So
I just can't wait to see the match of the night of this year's SummerSlam: Logan Paul and Ricochet.
Hell yeah!
I actually think it probably will be.
Yep. But anyway, since JPO's here, I made a slight edit, and you guys ready to play some trivia? Because I got some trivia. We won't even go to another stream. Let's just do it now. We'll close out the show with Lonely Marks trivia. Everybody, go get your whiteboards ready to go. Get your markers. Get your stuff. Because guess what? I got 25 big questions tonight, even more than last week. Oh, boy. So, skip what?
Of the body Donis.
Oh, that's not a question.
Oh, shit. Oh. Never mind.
I still have Angela Lansbury on my board. Does she count?
Angela Lansbury? No, I don't think she was involved in any wrestling.
Okay.
Not quite. Not even a WrestleMania appearance. no
Beauty and the
Murder,
Beast
She
was
Wrote.
the theme song to
No
SummerSlam
Murder, She Wrote. Crossovers or anything
It
like
was
that.
doing a TV show. Shout out to Samoa Joe. Twisted Metal premiered tonight, so
Sure did.
Yeah, I think I might watch the at least one episode afterward.
Yeah,
I'm 2 in. Like it's fine. Like I'm not over the moon about it, but it's fun. It knows what it is. Mackey's good.
I will say, Jacob, I did make an effort to get more diverse with some of the questions.
Shit.
I got some NXT, I got some AEW, got some TNA, got some but I got my my kind of older stuff mixed in there. But it's a little kind of all over the place this time. So not so
even
much
with the newer stuff, that doesn't mean anything when it comes to
but I'm just saying, it's not so centered on like late 90s, early 2000s, ECW, WCW, WWE.
Ooh, I'm out. Have fun, y'all.
Now, there is some of that in here, for sure, but a little bit different. So is everybody ready for question number one? Like, I've got 25 tonight, so I've actually got 20 questions, 20 sort of ASAT-style questions. I have my faction question, like we did last time, of name as many of the faction members as you can, so we'll get to that when we get to it. And then I've got my 4 final closers of the higher, lower Meltzer ratings, so we will get to that.
Name every member that ever appeared in the NWO.
Not quite. There's a potential 85 points tonight for NWO. I'll give you guys 15 minutes. All right. No, we're not quite. But we are going to start in TNA for the first 2 questions, and we're going to talk
WCW roster.
No. That'd be 422 people. No, contracted people. Lenny Poffo, who's never made it a TV.
Never made it.
It was contracted for 6 years and never made an appearance.
That's a very cushy job, though. You
get to check every week, but no one has to do a damn thing. Yeah.
Apparently, Eric Young did the same thing.
But we are going to start, and our first 2 questions, we're going to talk about the prestigious X Division Championship, because my first question is going to be, who holds the record for the longest reign as TNA X Division Champion?
Oh, is it just singular reign?
Just singular reign. Who holds the longest singular reign as X Division Champion in TNA history? What wrestler? You got about 20-25 seconds per question to come up with an answer here. All right. Get your answers in here. We're going to wind it down to about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go to Richie first. What you got?
Trey Miguel.
Jacob.
Ooh, did he do it?
I said Christopher Daniels.
And JPO.
I said Samoa Joe.
Oh, a dirty sweep there. It's going to be Austin Aries, 301 days as X Division.
That makes sense.
Austin
makes sense.
Aries.
I thought maybe Trey would be
So a different question and kind of a similar vein as that. Who holds the record for most reigns as a TNA X Division champion? So most times as X Division champion. Who would that be from the TNA roster? Austin Aries, 301 days, longest reign, but who has the most reigns? I'll wind you guys down here for that question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll work backwards. JPO, what you got?
Chris Sabin?
Let's see. Jacob?
Chris Sabin.
Richie?
Chris Sabin.
And a clean sweep on that one, because you all know Chris Sabin with 9 title reigns as X Division.
I almost wrote Christopher Daniels again. I erased the Topher, and I was like, no.
Yeah, but 9 for the Sabin there, and let me turn off my stupid notifications on my thing.
And he just lost it to an angle with Leah Rush. I don't call that a match.
All right. Anyways, turn that off so I don't hear that in my ears. Okay, let's go to AEW now. I have an AEW question. Who was the first Joker entrant in the Casino Battle Royal at AEW Double or Nothing 2009? Who was the very first Joker entrant? Very first Joker. AEW Double or Nothing 2019 Casino Battle Royal, first Joker. All right, let's wind it on down here. Get your answers in 5,
Extension.
4. extension for Mr. Barber. Another 20 seconds or so. Who's that very first Joker entrant ever in a casino battle royal? All right. Extension's going to wind down here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start with Richie. What you got?
I can't remember if it was men or women, so I know one of the times it was Mercedes Martinez, so I said Mercedes.
All right, Jacob Barber.
I said Matt Sydal.
And JPO.
I said Sydal too.
Sydal was one of them, but not the first. The first one,
Fucking-
Hangman Adam Page.
I was thinking
Hangman Adam
You scared me,
Page.
Richie. I erased Martinez, and that's always the
Yeah.
worst when you go
Hangman Adam
racing after.
Page, the very first Joker.
Damn, we're all thinking about like special people. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sydal was, I
Yeah.
believe, the second one. Sydal was the
Yeah,
second
I remember the
That was the one
gimmick
for-
now.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the one to see who faced Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all
in
right.
retrospect.
All right, let's go to WWE here, and we're going to talk about 2014. The Big Show and Eric Rowan faced off in what type of match at the TLC 2014 pay-per-view? I'll say it was a very unique one-time only match. I'll say that as a hint. A unique one-time only gimmick. Big Show and Eric Rowan. All right, you guys wrote some stuff pretty quick. I guess you must remember this one, so we'll wind it down
Weirdly.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. JPO, what you got?
Tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
Jacob, what you got?
Stairs match.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for the
and
what's
Richie.
in the bag match.
And stairs match.
Ah, nice clean sweep there. Yes, the one and only stairs match. A very weird stairs match with lots of stairs around ringside. Very weird for that one. All right. But speaking of TLC, and I actually mentioned it here really quick, but earlier, what team was victorious in the very first Raw Roulette TLC match? This was back in 2002. The Raw Roulette TLC match. What
I wasn't
team
paying
was
attention.
not victorious? All right. Get your answers in here. Get an extra second because it's going to be technically two names. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie.
One wasn't even in the match, but I think it was Kane and Hurricane.
And Jacob.
I said Benoit and Jericho.
They won the SmackDown one, actually. Almost asked that, JPO.
I also have Kane parentheses Hurricane.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one because technically Kane and the
Okay.
Hurricane, although the Hurricane was not a participant because he got taken
Yeah.
out backstage. But Kane and the Hurricane were the tag team champions, and Kane came out victorious in that one. So, yes, I actually would have accepted just Kane because he's the only one.
I thought that's why I did the parentheses. I'm like, because if you say no, it's just Kane. I'm like, fuck you.
No, Kane and Hurricane, yeah, we're actually the champions. But Hurricane, not a participant when you go back and watch it. Number 6,
Good match.
moving on to what wrestler was first known as Leviathan in OVW? Right, you guys are pretty quick on that one. I'll give you a few extra seconds just in case. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. JPO, what you got?
Batista.
And Jacob?
Batista.
Batista and Richie.
Batista.
Batista. Correct answer. Yeah, you all got it there. Batista was Leviathan. Quick score update. Richie and JPO tied with 4. Jacob with 3. Still time to catch up. All right, and going to go to NXT here. In 2003, Adrian Neville and Oliver Gray were crowned the inaugural NXT Tag Team Champions, but what was their team name?
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Neville and Oliver Gray, first Tag Team Champions in NXT. What was their team name?
Don't second guess yourself, JPO.
I just want to, it's a good one where I'm like, yeah, you don't short lived, you don't think about it too often. But I feel like I might have.
You do. Don't second guess yourself.
All right. 5, 4,
I'm going to be
3,
wrong now.
2,
I might be wrong
1.
too.
Richie, what you got?
I just had a joke answer. The men gravity remembered.
Okay. Jacob,
You
what
know
got?
Tony Khan booked that match on Wednesday just so they could do all the
Right.
gravity
I can
jokes.
do that, yeah, because
Only
that was
reason.
that free time.
Who's next?
Jacob,
British Ambition.
and JPO.
That was their name, right? Yeah, British Ambition.
Their
but-
name was, in fact, British
Yeah.
Ambition.
Yeah.
British Ambition. Yeah, that was a fun
Told you,
fact.
don't second guess yourself, JPO.
It's just I don't say it often or think about it.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
you don't.
All right, and we'll go to the next question. Which of these wrestlers did not participate in the WrestleMania 17 gimmick battle royal? Tugboat, One Man Gang, Duke the Dumpster, or the Mountie? Which one did not participate?
I like the framing of this question.
Yeah, no.
I've done it
which one of
for wrestling. No, I'm sorry, movie Jeopardy, where I list cast and I go,
these- right?
who's
Yeah,
not
which
in
one
it?
wasn't in it?
I like this. Now it's
Well,
who's
this
not
one,
in this match?
that famous gimmick battle royal. Yeah, which one of these gimmicks was not or participate in that matchup?
Okay.
Before.
This one I have to. I'm pretty sure.
All right, so a little bit of a multiple choice here. You can potentially get it right. You guys remember this one? The greatest WrestleMania, WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
Second.
Got my first ever cat on that day.
All right.
Weird
5,
side fact.
4, 3, 2, 1. JPO, what you guess on this one?
It's the Bounty.
Okay, and Jacob,
I said Duke.
Duke, and Richie.
Almost brought him up in our ranking of people who are overdue for Hall of Fame. Jack Rougeau, the Mountie, because I like the Mountie. I think he's really
Great
good.
answer. Yeah, the Mountie did not
Yeah,
participate in that one, but
I think
those other three
Gang's in the
did.
final two, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. One Man Gang was made it pretty fun.
Towards
that
the
one.
end. He was
All right.
supposed to be Akeem, and I guess he couldn't really fit into it, so he was like, dude, I got to be one man gang.
Yeah, right. Duke the Dumpster, who we just saw in that MLW battle.
Yeah,
And he
that's
returned
right.
in MLW, yeah, because that
Yeah.
was his last big TV appearance. Was this.
Yeah. So going to WCW here, Tank Abbott briefly served as manager and enforcer for what team in WCW?
Yeah.
Kind of a funny gimmick, but didn't really match his character. But yeah, but he was in there for a little while. But what team did he serve as manager and enforcer
I
for?
don't
for a
believe
little
in
bit?
this very.
All right. Let's wind this guesses down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Richie, what you got?
Recount.
Jacob.
3 count.
And JPO.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a little dancing from Tank Abbott when he was with 3 Count, and he was kind of their DJ as
Okay.
well for a little bit. He would take
It was
over the
just
DJ.
like WWF. He was a monster. They ran out of things for him to do because he wasn't
Yeah.
very good. Do some gimmicky shit. Do some
And then
fun shit.
they did it later with Albert as the hip hop hippo. We have nothing for it.
That's
so,
that's
go-
the
go
trajectory.
dancing. Yeah, go
Push
go
the
dancing.
monster. Monster's not very good. Make him do comedy
Like
shit.
Ali.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So let's go back to WWE here. Who were the first 2 winners of the debut season of Tough Enough? And this will be ASAT rules, so whoever can get either 1 or 2 of those answers. ASAT rules here.
Oh, there you go.
The 2 first winners of the first season of Tough Enough. And it was not the Boogeyman. I can tell you that.
Although he was
30.
like-
How old are you?
30. 30.
We have your ID.
30. I'm
40.
still 30. Okay, maybe I'm 30.
I
We have your
think
birth certificate.
one of the more successful ones.
Yeah.
Which, I have to tell you,
And they really shamed him on the episode. They're like, we can't have liars here in the WWF. And then he went on to have one of the best careers out of everyone in
Yeah,
Tough
right.
Enough, like top 5 probably.
5, 4, and 3, and 2, 1. JPO, what you got?
Maven Huffman and Nydia.
Okay, and Richie? Or excuse me, Jacob, sorry.
Maven and India.
All right, and Richie.
Maven and Nydia.
All right, so everybody will get a point for that one because everybody got, Maven and Nydia, the first 2 winners there. Didn't know if you guys were going to remember the female winner or not.
No, I like Nydia. I liked her run with Timmy Noble. I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Quick score update. JPO in the lead with 8. Richie was 7. Jacob was 6. So still a pretty
Nice.
close game here. A lot of game to go. Number 11. What wrestler made his debut on March 18th, 2002 episode of Raw, interfering in a triple threat hardcore match between Al Snow, Spike Dudley, and Maven? Which wrestler made their on-camera debut?
I think so.
Pretty famous clip that gets around these days.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm more sure now
We'll see.
with the hints.
But yeah, we'll wind it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, what you got?
Brock Lesnar.
Jacob
Brock Lesnar.
and JPO.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he came out there and killed everybody. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman.
Are you
at
talking
his
about him
side.
just F5ing Spike? Is that what you're talking about?
And powerbombing him.
He
Oh,
powerbombed
he
Spike like
powerbombed
4
him.
times. Yeah, he
Yeah.
F5 Maven. He spine busted Al Snow into a trash can. Yeah, he killed everybody in that match. Yeah, it was good stuff. Going over to ECW, what ECW wrestler was nicknamed the Big Effin' Deal?
Maybe.
If you're not sure, hint: name an ECW wrestler.
That's what I did. It's probably wrong.
Oh,
but
let
that's
me
what I
erase
did.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
So it's not.
Hint, they were in ECW. All
So
right.
this is not okay. So you wrote a Maven question, then another Maven. I thought it was Nydia. I had Nydia.
No. I did some little back and forth with a few things here and there, but not always. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. JPO, what you got?
I hope it's Jerry Lynn.
And Jacob,
I said Rob Van Dam.
Van Dam, and Richie.
Jerry Lynn might be wrestling. They're hinting that he might be wrestling Jungle Boy.
I think he's just gonna get beat up.
But anyway, Shane. I said Shane Douglas.
A dirty sweep there. Rhino was the big effing
He's the big effing
deal.
deal. Damn.
Rhino. Jerry Lynn was the new effing show.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, instead of the whole fucking show, he was the new effing
Right.
show.
That's why I was like, I knew
but,
he was a ripoff.
But
of
Rhino
Rob
was the
Van
big
Dam's.
effing deal. Rhino.
They love
He
their
was the
effins
show.
over there, huh?
They love their effins.
ECFW.
Yeah, they love them. But going to my one and only video game question, because I like my last one. What was the name of the very final WCW video game?
Don't want to give context clues, but I don't know how this game has the worst graphics of all of them, but it did. Anyway,
I don't want to give any hints.
I was about to say other titles, but yeah.
I don't want to say anything because it might give some things away. I'll say afterwards what I was going to say. But yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, what you got?
Backstage Assault.
Jacob.
I thought maybe they named it after a pay-per-view.
Okay, and JPO.
Yeah, the last wrestling game had no wrestling ring. Backstage Assault.
Yeah, it sure didn't. That would be WCW Backstage
Shit pissed me
Assault.
off.
Yeah,
Like the
and
last video game we could have had from the company, it would have been nice to have had a ring.
bad graphics, no ring, bad commentary that just repeated itself 8,000 times. Yeah, really, really bad. WCW Backstage Assault, and I owned it. I sure did.
I mean, yeah, I had everything from WCW.
We
At least
all did.
the last few.
All right,
until just now.
Yeah.
No
So,
ring,
go-
dude. No ring. A
go back
wrestling
to
game.
WWE.
I love Vince Russo.
What 2 wrestlers comprised the short-lived WWE tag team of the Dashing Ones in 2010? This will be actually, I'm not going to do ASAP rules for this. You either get it or you don't for this one because they're a tag team. So you're going to get it or you're not. But the Dashing Ones in 2010, what tag team was that?
Well, obviously, one's obvious. I don't know the other guy.
Yeah, this is going to be an all or nothing one. I'm not going to give you just one guy. You gotta get it or you don't. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, answers locked in. JPO, what you got?
Shit, it's one of two. It's Cody and Sandow, or maybe Drew.
Jacob.
I said Cody and Drew.
Fuck.
Richie.
Yeah, it might be Cody and Drew. I said Cody and Sandow.
One person gonna get it. Jacob Barber with Cody and
Yeah.
Drew.
Cody and
I
Sandow
can
were
choose
the
it.
Rhodes
Cody and Sandow.
Rhodes Scholars, good pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Now that's
said
the
rules
next
didn't
question.
matter.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, and again, still a pretty close game. JPO with 10, Richie with 9, Jacob with 8. So,
Nice.
yeah, we're still pretty close here. Going to question number 15 again. I've got 20 ASAT style, and then we move into the other questions. So, number 15, who won the second King of the Mountain match held at TNA Slammiversary 2005? The second King of the Mountain match.
Oh my God. I try to forget these matches.
That's why I asked about him, so you never forget. Never forget the King of the Mountain.
They even had a King of the Mountain belt at one point.
Yeesh. Vince Russo. Stupid Russo.
Yeah.
I think this was after Russo. That they Jordan a belt.
Probably
They
Russo I
flip flopped.
didn't
They
use.
flip flopped on their second tier titles so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need a digital media championship, but they've got one.
I don't hate it because they actually do use it mostly for like their pre-show, their like BTI and their pre-show for the pay-per-view,
You know what I
and
use
again, I don't mind
sometimes?
another singles title.
A countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, what you got?
Raven.
Jacob.
Raven.
And JPO.
Caw, Raven.
It's Raven? Yeah,
Okay.
Raven won the second one. I thought the first one would be too obvious because Jeff Jarrett won the first. He won the first and third, but sandwiched in the middle of those, Raven won one. So I figured I'd ask about that one because otherwise you guys would probably just guess Jeff Jarrett because he won everything back then. But yeah, going back over to NXT now. Sami Callihan was known by what name during his run in NXT?
Callahan, you're still slightly on my shit list, Callahan. I want you to know, in case you're watching. Hold on. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Now I think I'm okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. JPO. Oh, shit. Did you get the right
Solomon Crow.
And Jacob?
Yeah.
No. Richie?
Solomon Crow.
Yeah, the answer is, oh, shit, Solomon Crow.
I did a mix of him and Lucha Underground. I had Jeremiah Crow. We used Jeremiah Crane.
Yeah,
Jeremiah
Crane. And I was like really like cocky about doing it and finally realized, oh no, motherfucker, it's wrong.
Well, going into question number 17, MTV hosted what short-lived 10-episode wrestling show in 2006?
One of the two main commentators, a friend of mine who I've opened up for.
You have to tell us maybe who that is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, what you got?
Wrestling Society X.
And Jacob.
Wrestling Society X.
And JPO.
Yeah, Wrestling Society X.
You can pick it up on DVD. Wrestling Society X.
You can.
You sure can. Featuring lots and lots of 3-minute matches.
Yeah, sadly. I heard I wish there's supposed to be like a extended cut or like the matches were longer and they chopped them in the post.
Right.
So I'd love to see like a longer version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to
Evans. Feel like Jack Evans versus Matt Sydal in a 4-minute match.
First ever match, by the way. If you ever get trivia. But no, shout out to Bret Ernst. Yeah, he's one of the two commentators, and he's a big stand-up comedian. Okay. He's cousin Louie, I think, on Cobra Kai. You've seen it on several episodes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. All right, we're going back to WWE here at the 2001 Survivor Series. Who won the Immunity Battle Royal and thus couldn't be fired for a period of 1 year?
And you can find this question on
JPO just asked this question.
Find this question on at least the second or the most recent Wrestling Trivia if you want to follow.
Cool. I don't watch a lot of those, so sorry.
Oh no! I'm just saying it comes handy sometimes. Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
Shenanigans.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, this may be inevitable then, but JPO.
This is a test.
All right, and Jacob.
I'm very pro test.
Yeah, and Richie.
Test.
All right. Well, sorry about the repeat question then, but I just really like 2001 WWE.
But Immunity Battle Royal was rendered useless anyway because WWE won, and they all showed up anyway.
Some of them took like a month or two off, and then by 2002,
all they did with the gimmick was Test went around and like beat up referees and like beat up announcers, and they were like, "Hey, no, it's funny. You know, it's funny, Test. You can't be fired. We can suspend you. You're suspended. Bye." And then they just like suspended him. It was really weird. It was like stupid. We can still suspend you. All right. But going back to AEW now. In AEW, who is Chris Jericho's second opponent in the MJF Labors of Jericho series? Second opponent.
I think I can name most of them, just not in order.
Well, that's what makes it a trivia question, Jacob. so
I hope I.
5.
I haven't got the right one.
3, 2, 1. Well, let's see if you guys can get the right one. Richie, which one?
Juventud Guerrera.
Jacob.
I said W. Morrissey.
And JBO.
I said Juventud as well from Richie.
Dirty sweep there because it was that death match
Nick
with
Gage.
Nick Gage.
It was Nick. I was about to write him like
Gage.
my logic went. They were
Hoovy-
going to save that, right?
Hoovy was number 3. Number 3 was
the
Hoovy.
famous match where, like, during picture-in-picture, they showed a Domino. They showed
Domino's
a pizza
commercial while he was doing the pizza cutter gimmick.
While Jericho's
Yeah.
getting sliced up with a pizza cutter.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that was the Nick Gage match. Was the second match. All right, and number 20, the final of the ASAT style questions. Who served as special referee for the Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and Kevin Nash at Bad Blood 2003? All right, looking for that special referee name. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go the other way, JPO. What you got?
Said Mick Foley.
Jacob.
I said Shawn Michaels.
And Richie.
Mick Foley.
Correct answer. Hell in a Cell legend Mick Foley was the special.
I knew it was one of the two. It's like
Yeah.
I legit was like, Sean?
I was like,
Yeah.
who does a lot of special guest refereeing? Who was
Sean did
involved?
the Triple H Undertaker Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, guys, it's time. I did it last time, and it was such a big hit, especially with Jacob. He loved it. That faction question, name the people in the faction. But I did go to a different promotion this time, and somewhat a little more recent. We'll see. We're going to talk about name the members of TNA's Aces and Eights faction.
How many? How many possible?
So as far as I can tell from what I found on different websites, there are about 12 possible answers. So
Now, are you going to like hold us to their exact name, or if we have the right human, is that fine?
I'll go with the human, I guess.
All right.
You
You said
kinda the
about
same
12?
person. Yeah, there are because there were two kind of, I'll just say honorable members, sort of. So there's a potential 12 here. So yeah. But but I should clarify for anybody watching, this will be 1 point per correct answer. So last time I did the Ravens flock sans Raven, name as many as you could. There was 10 potential ones. This time I went with TNA's Aces and Eights faction. So I'll give you guys some time to write down some names. A potential, from what I can tell, all the research I did, about 12 names here potentially. So we'll see which ones you guys can get here. The 12. So a lot of points up for grabs here. Talking Aces and Eights. So again, I'll give these guys some time on this one.
There's one. I think you'll understand what I'm saying, Pez. If not, I'm gonna have to fight you.
I might have the whatever ones you're thinking about because I got all the like goofy like one night only honorable people, that sort of thing. I've got them included. So both between the Pro Wrestling fandom page and the Wikipedia page, I sprung them together and put that in the list of answers. So we'll see what you got. Let's see what you got. Otherwise, I'll do some fact checking if I'm incorrect, but we'll see.
Yeah. Then I got a weird pull here, so
okay. Well, we'll see. I might have the weird pull because I put just about all the potential answers on that.
Yeah.
You shall see. I'll give you guys about 30 more seconds here to pull some names, whatever you can pull.
3 off. Who's those other 3? Probably the one-nighters. I can't think of many one-nighters.
I only got 7.
8. I'm not even sure.
So we're all close. We're all close then.
You guys have maybe most of the main members. You might just be forgetting those honorable members.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember the honorable ones.
Yeah, but that's why I included some of the honorable members. So we'll see here.
Oh, I'm forgetting. I forgot one. Yeah, I got 8.
Yeah, there's 2 more kind of not official ones, but they kind of participated. We'll see. We'll debate about it. JP, I'll figure you bring up the other ones, but we'll see. All right, but let's wind this thing down to about 10 seconds. Give about 10 more seconds, and then we'll wind it down. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's wrap it up here. All right, we'll start with Richie up there. Let's see what you got. Go slowly, and I'll check them off and see what you got. All right.
The only one I'm not sure of. So Garrett Bischoff, Wes Briscoe, Mr. Anderson, D'Lo Brown. Oh, sorry, I should go slow. Garrett. All right, I'll stop and start. Garrett Bischoff, Wes Briscoe, Mr. Anderson, D'Lo Brown, Bully Ray, Brother Devon, Taz, and this is one I'm not sure of, Tito Ortiz, Doc, and Nux.
Okay, all on the board there. Okay, so you are going to get 10 points. 10 points.
Wow.
10 correct
Damn.
answers. So good pull
Yeah,
there.
you did better than me.
10 correct answers. Jacob, what you got? See how many points you
I
got.
have Taz, Bully Ray, Doc Gallows, Garrett Bischoff, Mr. Anderson, Mike Knox, and Devon Dudley.
Okay, all correct answers, but 7 correct answers. Yeah, so all correct there.
Wes
So you
Briscoe
get
was
some
the
points.
name that was escaping
so
me. I just could
JPL,
not.
let's see what you got on your board there. What you got?
Alrighty, so it might be a 9. Doc Gallows, Taz, Wes Briscoe, Gary Bischoff, D'Lo Brown, Devon, Bully Ray, Mike Knox, CJ O'Doyle. It is definitely one. Brooke Hogan, Ezekiel Jackson at third, and Chris Daniels. It's fun.
So I'm gonna give you. Oh, where did he go? He hit his leave, I guess, on accident. Okay, so 8 official. CJ O'Doyle is a weird one because he's listed on the Wikipedia, but he wrestled as a masked guy who was never really named. So that might be up to you guys whether you give that to him because he's kind of a not really official.
He can pull it though. I think is impressive. So I'm okay with that.
I'll give it to him.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
Comes back.
I'll watch for him to come back, but so I'll give him 9 points for that one. Let me add up the points real quick while he's coming back, and then I'll reveal all of them potentially. So there he is.
All right, sorry, my fucking cat. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So me and the other 2 voted. We'll give you CJ O'Doyle, even though he wrestled under a mask and wasn't really named.
What?
He's on the
You said
Wikipedia.
human and he wrestled match.
Yeah,
on
I know.
pay-per-view.
Him and Leva Bates are kind of questionable.
You could question Leva more unless she had a match on pay-per-view. Like, come on.
9, 10. Okay, got to add up all the
Check out
points
my
here.
interview
Hang
with
on.
CJ O'Doyle over at Kayfabe Corner on the First Wrestling Channel.
I referenced
and how we
CJ
bring
O'Doyle
that
a lot.
up.
He was
Yeah,
a nice
that's
dude.
why,
He
I
nice
was
dude.
like, Pez, you probably know who I'm referencing here, and I definitely deserve that point.
Yeah, no, I understand. So after that one, Richie will have 24. JPO will also have 24, so a
Nice.
tie after that. And Jacob will have 18. So not too bad. You're still hanging in there, Jacob. Did much better than the Ravens flock. I'll give you that.
Yeah, at least
Much better than the Ravens flock. You at
But
least got
I'm
some-
sorry, just for funsies, who else? Who did we
So
forget?
I'm pulling it up now. So
Yeah.
all right. So we got Bully Ray, Brooke Tessmacher, the first lady, which nobody
I
got.
said Brute.
Garrett Bischoff, Nux, which is Mike Knox, Taz, Devon, D'Lo Brown, Doc or DOC. Eveless Velez was an honorary member for one pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But she's listed on the fandom.
Sure.
Mr. Anderson, Tito Ortiz was a Ace and Eights sort of sergeant at arms, and Wes Briscoe, and then Leva Bates and CJ are kind of.
Okay.
I would have taken a vote on either one of those, but they voted to give it to you because it was a good poll. So there you go. But yeah, those are kind of the 12 sort of official on the fandom like listed as official members. So yeah, Tito Ortiz was the weird one because it was only for like a month, but he was there.
I know, yeah.
Totally
So,
forgot.
I remember it because there was a big build up to his reveal, and then when he got revealed, no one popped at all. He got no reaction.
Yeah.
And then Strike Force pulled him from the shows like a week later to go back and fight.
Yeah,
some more.
another fella. Not the first time no one gave a shit. Tito Ortiz is with TNA.
So yeah. All right. So that was your facts and question for this evening.
Give it Frank Anderson.
So we will move to the final 4 questions, which will be your higher and lower, sort of like the Trivia Triathlon Rotten Tomatoes questions. But this will be the Meltzer review questions. So it'll be, I'll give you guys a match. Again, a fairly well-known match or infamous match. I'll give you a star rating, but that will be incorrect. So you will give me what is correct, either higher or lower, and then try to nail the actual star rating. Keep in mind, he does go by 0.25 stars, 0.5, 0.75, all that stuff. And each one, the correct answer will be within 2 stars. So it won't be something wacky off by 5 stars. Everything's within 2. So keep that in mind because Richie, I think you named one like 5 stars off last time. Keep in mind, it'll be within 2. So keep that in mind. All right, so we'll go to question number 22. Very famous match, WrestleMania 12 Iron Man, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, higher or lower than 4 stars from Mr. Meltzer. Very famous Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels Iron Man match. So what happens here? Potential for 2 points each one of these. A point for the correct higher or lower, and then an extra point if you can nail it on the head and get the correct one. So anything could happen here. Anything could happen. This one. All right. So you're going to give me a higher.
I'm sorry,
or lower.
I yelled at you. You closed out the screen. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you closed out the screen.
Hey,
I was about to get
don't be sorry.
points.
Don't be sorry. You hold your ground.
Yeah.
All right, Katie Jacobs is on my ground.
All right. All right. Let's wind this one down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start with JPO. Higher or lower on a point thing. What you got?
I said lower 375.
Okay, Jacob.
Higher 4.25.
Okay, and Richie.
If I was voting for it, it'd be lower because I don't like this match. But I said higher 4.75.
4.75. Okay. So a couple of correct answers there. Jacob gets 2 points. 4.25 higher. 4.25 higher. So yeah, Dave liked it. I'm not a fan of that match either. Too many goddamn wrestle holds in that match. There's a lot of wrestle holds. A pretty boring match for the last 10 minutes, if you ask me. Personally, we'll go to number 23. Let's head over to WCW. And a pretty infamous match, Road Wild 98, DDP and Jay Leno versus Eric Bischoff and Hollywood Hogan. Higher or lower than 1.5? Higher or lower than 1.5? DDP and Jay Leno versus Eric Bischoff and Hollywood. I believe we kind of briefly mentioned this match last time during the trivia, so I figured, let's go all out. Let's see what Uncle Dave gave it on this one. Let's see if we can guess here. Because you never know with Dave. Dave can be all over the place. He can be a weird dude sometimes. So,
yeah, him trying to kind of explain it to Chris Van Vliet still didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, the Jim Cornette breakdown was very funny. All right, wind it down here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, what you got?
It's lower 1.25.
Okay, and Jacob?
I said lower dud.
Dud. Okay, and JPO.
I thought maybe there's something cool I forgot about. I said higher 2.
Okay, not quite, but Richie gonna nail it on the head.
Damn.
Lower 1.25. So Richie with 2 points, but Jacob still gets a point on that one for getting it lower. But yeah, I think 1.2. This match should be a dud. It's very bad. It's not good at all. So I don't know what he saw in this one, but he saw something in this one. All right, going to number 24. Your penultimate question for the evening. You know, maybe or maybe not. You've seen it, but you know about it. Great American Bash 2004, Mordecai versus Hardcore Holly. The short-lived Mordecai, higher or lower than 0?
I do remember this.
This is the very last match that Mordecai would ever have before becoming Kevin Thorne 2 years later.
Later on.
So, yeah, this is the last time we ever saw Mordecai.
Kudos to him for somehow finding a way back in, though.
He got back in. Most people didn't know it was him, but he got back in. Yeah.
I like his gimmick now is he's a real estate agent, and if you buy a house from him, he'll give you like a heavyweight title replica.
Oh, nice.
Also,
I bought a house from Thorne.
He also randomly appeared in as a lumberjack.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, just in the background. I would do too. If I was Tony Khan and had a lumberjack match and Kevin Thorne was in town, I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, get your gear. Fucking be a lumberjack. I don't give a shit."
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Higher or lower than 0 for this one? JPO, what you got?
Now is it a dud?
Well, 0 is a dud.
Oh shit! Can I go against I went first and I'm dumb?
No.
Right,
you still said lower, so you're thinking negatives. Well, it could be.
Yeah, negatives. There you go.
Jacob.
I said higher 0.5.
Okay, and Richie.
Maybe in those two correct, I said higher 1.5.
Okay. The correct answer, higher 0.5. Jacob's going to pick up 2 points for that one.
I don't know his ratings, so I thought a dud was like a next level down.
No, a dud is just 0, nothing, and then he goes into negative. So,
I really fucked myself on this round.
No, it's all good. And we've got a very close game, so this could see what happens. I might have to have some more Meltzer ratings on standby.
No, do real trivia.
Do real trivia. I don't have anything prepared.
You come up with something.
I'll come up with another faction. How about that?
Yes. That way anyone's game.
Yeah, we're going to do another faction. That's what we're going to do. If it's a tie. It may not be. We'll see if it's a tie. But we're going to end. SummerSlam 2003 had an elimination chamber. So let's talk about another one. Let's talk about the December to Dismember elimination chamber.
Whoa.
Higher or lower than 2 stars?
I forgot Summerslam 2004 had a dodgeball game.
Is that and the crowd booed it? No, this is Bizarro World.
Yeah. All right. The Elimination Chamber from December to Dismember. Maybe the worst pay-per-view ever. It's debatable, but higher or lower than 2 stars. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Richie, we'll start with you. What you got?
Lower 1.25.
Okay, Jacob.
So lower dud 0.
Okay, and JPO.
Lower 1, even.
All incorrect. Higher.
Higher.
2.5 stars.
Kidding me?
You are all correct. So what we have is interesting because JPO will actually, no, I'm sorry. Richie will win the game with 28 points. JPO 24 points, Jacob 23 points. I almost read it wrong, but Richie gonna win the game here with 28 points, doing very well on that aces and eights, getting 10 points there. And really, keeping that.
How would there have been a tie then?
Oh, I was reading it wrong. I thought you.
Oh, okay. So there was no chance of a tie.
I mean, there could have been if somebody caught up, but yeah, I mean earlier. But I was reading.
Well, I just mean for the last question. I was like, if I had won it, I would have been 26.
Yeah, I was reading something wrong. I thought.
Oh, you good?
I missed the one thing, and I thought Richie had like 23 and you had 24 or something. I thought there could have been a tie.
No problem. I was just thinking, I'm like, there's no way I could have tied that.
So I will say I will not use it next time, but if we had gone to a tiebreaker, I would have done the Ministry of Darkness question.
Everybody was in that voting.
So I don't know. You guys want to do it for fun? I got it pulled up right now. Ministry of Darkness, go.
How many?
All right, 1 minute. Ministry of Darkness, go.
Hold on, just how many though? I like to have.
Let's see. 9 potential points
Okay.
for the Ministry of Darkness. Not the corporate ministry, just the ministry. Just the Ministry of Darkness, not the corporate ministry, which is completely different with way more people. Give you guys a minute. See who would have pulled this one out.
Oh, shit. 9, huh?
9. So this would have been my tiebreaker, but I'll do a different faction next time. I try to do a faction with like 8 to 12 members or something, 8 to 15, enough for, enough to lose some people here and there, but not so obvious with like a 5-person faction. I'll give you guys about 15 more seconds to write down some names.
I've got 6 that I'm fairly confident in. I can't think of the other 3.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of shitting the bed here. I got 5, and then I'm like, eh.
We'll see.
Yeah, 5, and I'm like, eh.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Ministry of Darkness. Why am I blanking on this?
Okay.
I'm with
All right. Let's wind it down here and see what you guys got. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, start with JPO. Let's see what you got.
Damn. Taker, Midian, Viscera, Bradshaw, Farouk, Gangrel, Paul Bearer?
That is 7 points.
Oh, okay.
So JPO going to pick up 7. That is 7 correct answers. Jacob, what you got?
I was just as you said 0, then I was like, oh, Gangrel.
Yeah.
So I've got the same 6 minus Gangrel. Taker, Farouk,
so-
Bradshaw,
so-
Midian, Viscera, Paul Bearer.
Okay, so you do have 6 correct answers, though. Richie, what'd you have?
I weirdly forgot Paul Bearer, and I might have fucked that one a couple of ones, but I said Undertaker, Midian, Bradshaw, Farouk, Viscera, and then I put Edge and Christian and Gangrel.
Oh.
So, yeah, the correct answers, all 9. Undertaker, Paul Bearer, Midian, Viscera, Gangrel, Edge and Christian, The Brood,
God damn.
and Farouk and Bradshaw, because people forget The Brood was also part of the ministry.
Of course, yeah.
Gangrel, Edge,
Mania
and Christian.
99. They helped fucking Taker. Duh.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
Oh,
so sorry.
I mean, I got it again.
So Richie would have got it again. Yeah,
I know.
someone-
If he had gotten less, I
Christian.
would have been like, that was question 31. Let's keep going. Well, fuck, Richie still wins.
But yeah, so well, you guys want to do another quick one just for fun before we leave?
I'm here.
I gotta go, but I'll. Yeah.
Good. Richie loses.
Okay.
He forfeited.
Okay.
Me and Jacob are still in the ring.
All right,
And Jacob
Richie.
muted. I don't know
All
if
right,
you found
plug what you got and then get out of here, man. What you got?
Yeah. You can catch me on Tournament Fights, Tier Rank, all that jazz, combat wrestling trivia, JPO's trivia,
Yeah.
tomorrow, and yeah, all that stuff. So, and I'll see you later.
All right, Richie. See you later. All right, one last one for fun for JPO and Jacob for all the marbles. What do you say? Let's do something big. Let's go big time. Kind of related to the ministry, the corporation. The corporation around the same time. And let me count them up here and see what we got. 18 potential members of the corporation. There's a whole lot of them in this one, which is why I didn't make an official one. But let's see which ones you guys. I would say it's a mix of wrestling personalities and sort of non-wrestling personalities. So, yeah, or maybe occasional wrestler personalities, I'll say. I hear Taz in the background on Jacob's TV. Oh, hearing this Taz yelling.
Over that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do so bad.
This fucking ad off my screen on my phone. God damn it.
So the corporation?
The corporation.
I'm not doing. What do you got, Jacob, right now?
There's a potential 15.
No, you said 18.
Or 6 or 18. Yeah, actually 18. Well,
I have 9.
I'll say you can break down one thing into.
No, you might win this. I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Corporation.
All right. You guys. Another, let's say, 15, 20 seconds. Write down some names, take some guesses. Damn ads. Fucking ads on this fandom page are pissing me off. All right. 10 seconds, guys. Let's see what you got. Just for funsies. The corporation. There's a whole lot of potential answers here.
I got 14, and I'm not confident in half of them.
Okay. We'll see what
There's like
happens.
3 or 4.
5, 4. Just start writing people's names down who are
I feel
around.
I did,
That. Get them right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down, JPO. That's enough of that. All right. Let's see what
You said write names down. I was writing names down.
Let's see what people Jacob guessed. What do you got?
So I said Shane, Vince, Stephanie, The Rock, Triple H, Test, Boss Man, Briscoe Patterson. I said Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. I don't know if DX and the corporation cross paths. Kane, Mankind, because I know like maybe, and then Tori.
Okay, I believe you have 9 correct answers, so not bad. Nine
5
answers.
of them were wrong.
I forgot about Triple H. What the fuck?
Yeah, so I believe you have 9 from what I can tell. I believe
I might get there. Let's see.
All right, JPO, let's see what you got.
Vince McMahon.
Go slowly so I can count.
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
What I'm looking at. Okay.
Vince McMahon. Shane McMahon. Gerald Briscoe. Pat Patterson.
Okay.
Test. Big Boss Man. Ken Shamrock. Then I remembered Stephanie McMahon. I threw in Linda McMahon, The Rock, Dude Love, I thought right, Harvey Whippleman, Sergeant Slaughter, Mosh, Thrasher, what I write? Duke Drosy is what I started to write, and Akeem.
Okay, you also got 9, so
Hey,
you're the tie.
Opa.
Hey, with all the guesses. All right, so here's the whole list. All right, so Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, obviously the 2 McMahons. No Stephanie. Stephanie was not doing anything around that time. She was just kind of around.
She was there, yeah.
Patterson and Briscoe, the Stooges, are part of that. Sergeant Slaughter, also a part of that.
Oh, shit,
Shawn,
that's a guess.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, technically a part of it at one point. China, part of the corporation.
DX.
The Big Boss Man, you guys pulled. Yeah, him and his nightstick running around. The Big Show. part of the corporation.
Yeah.
Kane, some of you guys got that one. The Rock, corporate champion, yeah. Ken Shamrock, Test, Triple H, and here's where the Mean Street Posse. So Joey Habs,
James.
and The Rock.
Damn, that would have been 3 good points.
Three good points for the Mean Street Posse running around as well.
Damn.
So yeah, actually a 15 there. They for some reason they have China listed twice. I just realized that.
When they
15,
made Dude Love corporate against Steve Austin, that's not like considered corporate.
I don't think so because
Okay.
I don't think he was ever actually part of the corporation officially or something. It was weird. Yeah, it was one of that weird times. But all right, that'll be enough for tonight. I'll pull some more.
One more.
If you guys want to, I'm sure I can pull up something. I don't know what. Give me a promotion and I'll give you a faction. What do we want?
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Jacob doesn't know Ring of Honor very well.
Major League Wrestling.
Well, Ring of Honor didn't have that many like giant factions other than the
Special K. Let's go.
Oh, I almost did that as a goof, but like you'd get half the names are like who? It's all goofy.
It's like Izzy, Dixie, Hydro, Elax, X-Lax.
X-Lax. Yeah, no, it's all goofy, weird shit. Like I don't know. It's I'll tell you what. Let's do an interesting one. Let's go to ECW.
Ooh.
Let's go to the network. No, Jacob gives up. Okay, so
I mean, to be honest with you,
yeah,
Don Callis. I don't know.
Yeah, Cyrus, Rhino, Tajiri, Scotty Anton, Steve Carino, Jack Victory, Louis Dangerously. I don't know, a whole bunch of people in there.
Would you have known Don Callis, Jacob?
No.
I win. That one.
What do you think? Another TNA, WWE one? What do you think?
Yeah, they won those. They won the made the 2 or made the 2s.
Or you know what? Let's do this. Let's do one more because we're just having fun, just being silly. Not enough for that one. Okay, I was gonna do one, but there's like 4 people, so that's not enough. not enough.
Yeah, don't do Apple or whatever you looked at just now.
No. Let's see if this one has enough. And we'll do it. All right, let me see the members here. Members. Where is it? I gotta scroll down to the fandom thing to the members. Let's see what we got here. Come on. All right. So this one had a bunch of different ones. All right, so let's do the Nexus in WWE. The Nexus. Let's go.
The original Nexus?
Both.
I guess any version, right? Yeah.
Any version of the Nexus. Because if you do that, you've got 13 potential members if you go both.
Okay,
both
13.
incarnations of the Nexus, yes. God, these fucking Google ads, I swear, they don't go away. There's no X for them. That's bullshit. Stop coming up on my screen. Go away. All right. Yeah, 2010 to 2011 Nexus. So, yeah. And I'm going to need their official names, not just maybe what they became later. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I need their name at the time. But, yeah, let me double check the number on this one. Let's see. 13. Yeah, 13. Okay. Maybe I'll pull another TNA one or something for next time, or an NXT thing or something. I don't know. Pull something. Get another old WCW one. For members of the Nexus. You guys wanted it. You guys are getting it. You wanted another.
Did you clean sweep it? I'm stuck on 1, Jacob.
I have 12.
We're both fucking
missing one.
Somebody is, yeah.
You guys are gonna keep tying here, huh? Unless you're getting somebody wrong. We'll see.
I'm confident in the 13 or the 12.
All right. I'll give you guys another 15 seconds to pull that one, and then I'll call it. See what you got. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens
Damn,
down.
I'm at the 12.
All right,
Yeah.
Jacob, what you got? Read them out kind of slowly, make sure I can get them, but read them off. What do you got?
I have Wade Barrett, Daniel Bryan, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Michael Tarver, Darren Young, Skip Sheffield, David Otunga, CM Punk, Michael McGillicuddy, Husky Harris, and Mason Ryan.
Okay, you do have 12 there, and you are missing one. So, JPO, what you got?
I think I have what he has, although, if you want to get technical, I actually did fuck one up. So, Wade Barrett, Michael Tarver, I have Brian Danielson, sadly.
That
Heath
is
Slater.
incorrect.
No, that's why I said, if you go by what you said, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
threw him his name
Okay.
that I've been always thinking of.
Yeah.
Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Darren Young, Skip Sheffield, David Otunga, Mason Ryan, CM Punk, Michael McGillicuddy, Husky Harris.
Okay, so the official list: CM Punk, David Otunga, Michael McGillicuddy, Mason Ryan, Daniel Bryan, Darren Young, Michael Tarver, John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't blame us for overlooking that.
Yeah.
All right.
For the 1 month, John Cena,
Sure.
Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Husky Harris, the future Bray Wyatt, and Skip Sheffield.
Hey,
Yes,
I give us props for, I'd say, almost a clean sweep.
Jacob
Although
got
I
almost
fucked
a
my
clean
name
sweep
up,
there. Yeah, Jacob almost got a clean sweep there, except for the John Cena.
Yeah.
But John Cena part of that one technically. So, there you go. Good job, Jacob. You got that one. So, all right, good job. All right, that's good. Let's wrap it up. It's after midnight here. I gotta get to bed. So no more factions. I'll pull
all
it
right,
all
now let's do over the Potter
more.
one so I can feel
No,
better.
no, yeah, the embassy forever. Yeah, no.
Prince Nana, Abyss, Jimmy Rave, Oman Tortuga, Diablo Santiago, John Walters,
Jack Evans at one point.
Jack Evans. Oh, I mean, if you want to be saying, if you're technical about it, Brian Cage, Joe Leona, Bishop Khan.
The current members of the embassy. Yeah. So I'll pull another one. Out of the archives next time. I'll pull a really hard one next time since you guys are you guys did pretty well tonight. I'm gonna have to pull a deep cut somewhere. But we'll see. Anyways, let's wrap things up.
is coming.
Jacob, what do you got?
Nothing much.
Plug-wise.
Yeah, nothing much in the immediate future. You and I will go live Saturday. Podcast about movies.
See how it is.
I kind of doing that.
I like podcasts.
that 4-pack of movies that we spun from our blind rankings we did about a month ago.
I gotta watch Zootopia in the next day or two.
Yeah, we'll be doing the Zootopia, Emperor's New Groove, Final Destination 5, and Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Wait, what's the movies again? I just want to hear the movies again.
Final Destination 5, Bride of Chucky, Zootopia, Emperor's New Groove.
I like it. It's like half and half. It's a good animation, then death.
It's a pickup of our blind rankings we did about a month ago, but we were in the middle of some other things. So
we each pick a number for the other person. Whatever movie they put at that number, that's a movie that we'll watch. And then we always have leftovers on the wheel, so we'll spin it once at the end, and that movie we'll also talk about.
Yeah, and I had horror movies, animated movies, so it's half horror, half animated. So that's why we did that. And then after that, we'll get into our animation or anniversary series. Excuse me. After that, so finally get that started. Break that down decade by decade. But JPO, what you got?
Hey guys, usual shiznit, the Pierce Go movie trivia, blah 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 blah. The Pierce wrestling trivia interviews, like with me and CJ O'Doyle, former member of Aces and Eights. I actually show clips off of the Impact Network. Never got taken down, so thank you for that, Impact.
Nice.
And pop it up on here from time to time.
None of the bots care about the Impact Network.
No, well, I purposely kept it really brief,
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Movie Hero Network, obviously here. I'll be running the little tier ranker bracket tomorrow night for one-word titles, 2016 to now. Podcast about movies with Jacob. Possibly another me and Wolfman drinking game over on Mega Movie Z for Jaws 3D on Saturday night. I believe we're going to try to do that. Me and Jacob watched it. Not a good movie. That'll be happening, Jaws 3D.
Oh, Mike's.
Oof. Yeah, bad one.
I've never seen the Jaws sequel.
Jaws 2's watch our show about it on a podcast about movies. We break down all of them.
Probably more entertaining. Probably way more entertaining.
Yeah, probably. So, Jaws
Then
2,
the sequels,
okay.
yeah.
In a nutshell,
That's what I'm
Jaws
saying,
2,
yeah.
okay. Jaws 3D sucks. Jaws: The Revenge sucks, but kind of fun to watch. Okay. Anyways, that's in a nutshell. Yeah. So that'll do it for tonight
Shallow. Pretty good.
on the Lonely Marks. Oh, I did have something I can put on the screen. Actually,
Uh-oh.
Jacob, kind of like you do, because I have control
It's
of
on
this.
MJF.
So I'll just remind everybody to close out the show that it's been over 100 days since Roman Reigns had a title defense. So, and I'll end with that.